Listen to me. When a new comic for the first time, I want to smell them like I'm Joe Biden. Unprofessional, Jackie. We need a clean table.
Sorry, that's my fault.
Welcome back to Show Me Yours with Jackie and Johnny, everybody.
I'm Jackie Agnew.
I am Johnny DeVito. This week, we have another special episode for you. We have a lot of guests.
Special.
They're all special. I shouldn't say that, but we're very fortunate enough to have a man with the passion of Tennessee Williams, Jackie.
Yeah.
The thing about, I think, interviewing, the thing that we've kind of learned in the past 20 weeks, 21, I guess now.
Yeah.
Is that, like, I think it's important to match the energy that the guest brings in.
Yeah,
Do you know
exactly,
what I mean?
Yeah.
So on this particular day, the energy was high.
Yeah.
Right? The drinks
high.
were flowing.
Yeah.
Pay attention to the recipe at the beginning of
Hot
the
new
episode.
summer beverage.
Ooh, I recommend it. I actually drank one last night.
Minus the
squirter.
the secret ingredient.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm not giving anything away.
Yeah.
Not giving anything away, but it is a delightful beverage. A delightful man.
Yeah.
What an afternoon. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun to record this episode. We did have some technical difficulties, which you know what, we're on episode 21. It's unacceptable, and we would like to, acknowledge the fuck up. You'll see the video drops out for about an hour in the middle of the podcast. And you know what? We just want to take this time to acknowledge and take full responsibility in saying that this was completely and 100% Peter Grant's fault.
100%. Once again, time and time again, you can never count him out.
Yeah.
Right? You can always count him in. You can always count on him to fuck up our podcast, whether or not he's here.
Yeah, he's been trying to take us down for a minute now.
Far too long.
But you know what? We're not going to let his trickery stop us from ultimate success.
Goodness, no, right?
Yeah.
I mean, my homies might stumble, but we don't fall down, Jackie. That's an old Tupac reference. We'll get to it another time. But I think at the end of the day, what we need to do, like, in order for us, to reach the promised land, is that we might have to, like, we'll acknowledge the fact. We're not going to apologize for any of this, right? Because this means war.
Because it's not our fault.
No,
yeah,
of course
exactly.
not, right?
I think it's time we launch some offensive attacks.
Absolutely.
Because we've been on the defense for a while now.
Far too long.
And we're trying to take the higher road here. But Peter just keeps getting down and dirty in the trenches. And you know what? It's about damn time we joined him down there.
Clearly, if you want us to come down to your level, Peter, you got it.
Yeah.
You wanted to get hot? It's fucking hot now. All right. Now that we've acknowledged, now that we got that out of the way.
On that note, please subscribe.
Absolutely.
Share with your friends.
Yeah.
Like our Instagram, our Facebook.
Do all the stuff.
Yeah.
Do
give us a shout out on your Instagram story. Actually, that's a big help. Yeah.
Listen to Jackie. Jackie knows about this kind of stuff. You and me, we don't know about this kind of shit, right? But Jackie, she knows, right?
And any dates to plug?
Yeah, I got a couple of things coming up for the rest of the month here.
Yeah.
What do we got? I'm like the 20th, 23rd, and 26th through Comedy Ring. Go to thecomedyring.com. Punch that in your Googler. I'm sure it'll be all over the place. And other than that, on the 31st, I'll be at King's Comedy, King's Head Pub. Doing a little King's Comedy for Laugh Wild. Nina, actually Alicia Dillon took over the room now. So that'll be fun.
She's
that'll be
running
cool.
the room now.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that. And also, we will both be at House Comedy.
On the 24th.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that'll be good.
Yeah, I will be at Pat's Pub this Wednesday.
Pap Smear?
Pap Smear Pub.
Sorry, I didn't mean to do it. Be at Pap Smear.
That would be like an interesting branding.
If that's the theme for the bar,
Pap Smears?
is that everybody has to sit in stirrups Like if everybody has to sit in stirrups, Jackie,
I'm
and like
so into
you have
it.
to like you're looking you know, it's weird, but like you can hear the conversation over there. You don't want to make eye contact, right? But it's hard because your feet and like dick and balls and butthole are just exposed to the next table.
Yeah.
In your situation, vagine and butthole.
And butthole.
Exposed.
Yeah.
If there was ever a reason to shave a cool design into your pubic hair, to be at Pap Smear Pub.
Smear Pub.
For
Yeah,
sure.
they won't take your order unless you're talking through your legs towards them.
Can you queef the alphabet? Like if that's the way that they do it, like that would be awesome.
I wish.
I'm sorry, back to your dates.
But yeah, I will be at Pat's Pub this Wednesday, the 18th at 7:30. That's going to be a really fun show. Ryan Williams is headlining.
Yeah.
The next day, I'm at the Den on the 19th.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's the early or the late show. But you know, check out Comedy Rings.
Yeah.
Comedy Rings, their Instagram. They post links to all of their dates and where you can get tickets. 24th House of Comedy will both be up there, which is fun.
That's gonna be a good one.
25th and 26th, I'm at Keto Cafe, and 28th, Ladies' Night at Fortune Sound Club.
Because
I'm hosting.
It's ladies' night,
Yeah.
and the feeling's right.
So I'll be with you all evening that night.
Mhm.
I'll be all over that stage.
Nice.
Wiping
nice.
it clean with my butthole. I don't know where.
All right. That's gonna be
I
interesting. It's
started
amazing
a
that your
sentence.
butthole is so clean that it can
Yeah.
actually your clean butthole can clean a dirty surface.
Yeah. You can. It
Fascinating.
polishes dirty surfaces.
The literal spit, shine, and shit and all.
Yeah.
We'll get to that at another time.
Yeah.
another
It's
time.
quite the sight, though. I haven't, figured out how to work it into my act yet, but that's gonna be the night.
Well, you're more creative than just like sitting on your butthole and just kind of scooching across the floor like a dog. We're not
gonna
see
dog
that.
it. No. It's
come
not
on.
gonna be me that kind of doggy style.
She's a fucking artist.
I'm a lady, and I will be creative with how I wipe the floor with my butthole.
I will be in attendance. I'm just coming to check that part out. Honestly, I mean, I know your act, right? That's it. I'm coming to check out that part.
Yeah. But without further ado.
Wait, we should actually pump up our fucking guest. We should say the name because he has a very good show coming up. Sorry. I thought that we were just
I was gonna go. We're on the same page here.
Pre-production meetings don't happen. Just to let you guys know.
Pre-production burritos happen.
Shout out
Yeah.
to Banditas.
Burritos and Margs.
Yeah, we just had.
That's what I'm about.
That was delicious.
Yeah.
Anyway, take it away.
Our guest this week is Justin Nichol. He runs a couple shows at a House of Comedy on Tuesdays. It's a pro-am show. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
We've been slacking. We have not been attending, but we will be there the 24th, as we said.
Heart apologies
Yeah.
to Justin there. Heart apologies to Am, too. There's a lot of shows early in the week that we haven't been
That
going
we
to
keep
because
saying
we're
we're
fucking
going to.
slacking.
Yeah.
And that changes today.
Well, it's for you guys, because this is what we've been doing.
We actually do. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's all for you.
You're
It's all
welcome.
for you, Damien. I'm having fun today.
Yeah, and but he also Justin Nichol's Comedy Brawl is a huge show this month. Coming up is the Champions show. So every champion from each month of Comedy Brawl is all facing up against each other this month, and it's gonna be wild.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
You'll have the winner of the Comedy Brawl that I was on and lost. The winner of the Comedy Brawl that you were on and lost.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to see better comedians than us, right?
Well, debatable.
Arguably. But
you can show up and yeah.
still bummed about the win. Hoping to come back for the next round. Hopefully I will be the second Comedy Brawl champion. I don't know. Why am I so competitive?
But that's at House of Comedy. We'll put the link for those tickets because I'm sure they're going quickly. I'm pretty sure it's close to sold out already.
Yeah, if it isn't, then get on them because it's a really good show. The room is goddamn beautiful. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, the only
great hosts that are coming up
comedy-
this time too, and without giving anything away, there's some good hosts and stuff. Sounds like it's gonna be a really good show. I'm gonna be there.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. You guys are gonna love this episode. It gets wild.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
So here is Justin Nichol.
Welcome back to the program, everybody. Today we are joined by a very special guest. You can find him doing New West food reviews all of a sudden for some reason. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's my new thing.
Exactly. He's a hilarious
Renaissance
comedian. You can
man.
see him all over town, but he's holding down the fort at the House of Comedy. You can see him at the end of the month hosting Justin Nichol's Comedy Brawl. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up. Justin Nichol, thanks for coming on, bud.
Thanks for having me, man. What a beautiful view, location, apartment. If I didn't know any better, I'd say you were a drug dealer.
I mean, a lot of people think that. I think I'm just incredibly lucky. I've turned a leaf from a life of crime, and I'm got better, more successful friends.
Okay.
So I'm riding coattails all the way to the top here.
Yeah.
Such bullshit.
Oh,
I want
yeah.
to see your T4. What do you do? Like, so you do comedy.
Yeah.
But then, like, do you do something in the day?
Yeah, well, I'm a plumber. But I've been a plumber for about a decade.
Like certified?
Certified, yeah,
Good
gas
shit.
ticket, all that stuff.
Good shit.
Did industrial, did commercial, did residential, and all that stuff. This tower right behind us, I was working on during COVID and stuff.
Good shit.
But I worked very hard to get the layoff, and now I'm. You
Yeah,
don't take
now
time
we're-
off when the country shuts down, right? When the country opens back
Yeah.
up, then you take time off to, do
Exactly.
comedy and do all of our shit and
Yeah.
just bug around.
And what about you, Jackie?
So I was working in film and TV. I was working in the production side of it, but I decided not to do that anymore
And
because
now you just do OnlyFans?
exactly it's much more lucrative.
It's incredibly
Awesome.
yeah, man. We're doing okay over here. It's
Yeah.
a pretty carefree kind of lifestyle. We're pretty happy-go-lucky.
Yeah.
And,
Can you
Yeah.
imagine quitting plumbing just to take pictures of your asshole?
I
And
mean-
just make $15 a fucking subscription?
I was I was having a conversation with guys last night, and somebody had said, so I have to spit on my own asshole or whatever. And then we started thinking about the logistics of what it would take to
Spitting on
actually
your
spit
own
on your own
asshole?
asshole. Now, think about this, guys. If you're on your back, right, kind of
Yeah.
like perched up with like your
Yeah.
asshole to the ceiling,
yeah.
right? So I'm
Like, who hasn't done
right?
that?
We'll paint a
Yeah.
picture, right? So say Justin's like coming over to the house or whatever,
Right.
right? Like
Yeah.
maybe he showed up a little bit before somebody let him in, right? And
Early.
he's
Yeah.
just on the ground here,
Yeah.
just hawking lugs
Yes.
into the air, and you just see like
Practice.
yeah, exactly, an entire circle
Yeah,
around
spit
him.
circle around.
Just because, yeah, I think like once that loogie hits your butthole directly,
Yes.
like life will change.
I'm so
Yeah.
competitive that I'd have it down in an hour. I'm seriously. Like, I would just be
yeah.
like, fuck it, I'm doing this. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
I'm busy.
Well, there's something to be said about like that kind of like winning attitude, right?
Yeah.
You know, like you're never gonna
exactly.
get to
Yeah.
the
Steph
top.
Curry of
That's-
spitting on my own asshole.
yeah, I've heard that about you.
Really? Oh, nicest thing anyone said about
Your
me.
reputation precedes you, my friend.
Yes. That's weird. That's a weird start to this, and I love it. I think we're having a good time tonight.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, totally,
Oh,
totally.
yeah.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is a music podcast, sorta. So
Yeah.
Okay.
we'll get around
And-
to it.
But
Okay.
before we get into the music, we have a special segment.
Yes.
Because you have a signature
I'm so
cocktail.
thankful that you would let me do this stupid thing.
Dude, 100%.
Oh, we're
Okay.
so excited about
All right,
it.
so we were calling it the drink of the summer.
Yes.
But then you were like hilarious that it would come out in the beginning of August.
Yes.
So I wanted to let them know that you all wasted your entire fucking summer because you don't know about this drink yet.
Totally.
Exactly.
Right? All right,
I feel
so,
like I've
School the
wasted
people,
my-
man.
You
Teach
all
the
like
truth.
White Claw, right?
Absolutely.
Of course.
So
Who
White Claw
doesn't?
Mango is the best White Claw. So I'm going to get you to hold that, Jackie. Okay?
Okay.
And then if you want to have the most refreshing drink that doesn't burn, but it's going to get you white girl wasted, you got to put a little bit of ice, right?
Always.
And then you need White Lightning vodka, the most white trash, trailer trash vodka of them all. Anything that has
Yep.
white in it.
I was going to say we only drink things that have
White
white
Claw,
before.
White Lightning.
White Claw, White Lightning,
Yeah.
fuck, you know what I mean? Try not to put your fist in the air. Okay? You put a shot of White Lightning in there, right? And you're like, gross, because it's 50% vodka.
It's bad. It's the
I-
only.
it's-
It's a brand of vodka that my sister got before she turned 19. She wanted me to go and boot some booze first, so she's like, "Get me a bottle of White Lightning," and I looked at it and I was like, "Bitch, you're getting smeared off."
You get pregnant.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
100%. Not a
All right.
chance.
Yeah.
And then, oh my God, did I forget it off camera? I gotta go grab it.
Oh, I got
Oh,
it
no,
here.
no.
Oh,
That's
Johnny's
why we
got
have
it.
our, yeah.
All right, so the secret ingredient here, Jackie,
Yeah, yeah.
is the Dasani water drops. Okay, so this
Yeah.
is the blue raspberry blueberry drops, the Dasani water drops. Okay, so you would think, Johnny, if you drink this, there's like 40 grams of sugar in this, right?
Well, at least 42, I was thinking, right?
Yeah.
I will tell you this: there are 0 grams of sugar.
Get out of here.
Swear to God. Wait, there's more. Okay? So you take a nice quick little spurt, not too much, okay? Just like a quick little tet.
Hey,
You know what I mean?
okay. Yep.
Just like tet.
little
Okay?
tat-tat.
That's a really good way to know if you've put too much in. If you go tet, too much, more than that, maybe too much, okay? And the most important part is to put the vodka and the drops in first.
Absolutely, I
Okay,
can see
Because
that,
if you
yeah.
put the White Claw in first and then the vodka, it completely gets it
Totally.
flat.
Yeah.
Well, you
Okay.
bruise
Yeah.
the booze, right?
Yes, you bruise the
Brews
booze.
the
Johnny, you're my
booze.
people, bud.
Hey, fucking A.
All right, then we fill it up. Now, what you have is a White Claw mango with some blueberry drops, Dasani drops, some ice, and you have a 0 sugar drink that's going to get you hammered on the cheap.
Yeah.
Oh,
This
for
is
sure.
Yeah.
I'm trying to appeal to people on a budget
Well,
who have
yeah.
an alcohol problem.
Oh,
That's
you're talking
our
to
audience.
us. That's
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely, yeah. You came to the right place.
Milwaukee.
This is
I
our
see old
brand.
Milwaukee.
Yeah,
I think they should even on payday, buddy. This is I know.
All right, so Jackie, why don't you try that out first?
Oh, thank you.
Why don't you try that out?
Well, that is just
Right?
delightful.
John,
What
you
do
want
we
to give it a
think?
go?
Oh,
You
yeah,
wanna
I gotta
give
get it. I gotta
I
get it.
can make them for us
Have a
all.
little
Let's
Oh,
just,
please do.
let's just
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
do
yeah.
it.
Let's
All
do
right,
a round,
Because I got one for myself.
Oh my
now,
god.
what
That
I
is-
need to know is how you concocted this recipe. How
Well,
did this come about?
I did bartend for like 9 years, and I came up with an awesome shot. I invented a shot, so I like to make up some drinks. Stopped bartending, kind of out of necessity. I was working like 80 hours a week between 2 jobs.
Jesus, yeah.
And people were like, you know what, man? I spilled a little bit. People were like, dude, you're funny. You should maybe do stand-up. I'm not even kidding you. When I was bartending,
No
that
shit.
was like the thing they used to say to me all the time. And I ignored it. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah whatever.
Yeah.
But then I had to quit my bartending gig, and that was like $1,600 to $2,000 a week in tips, right? At the
Hot
time.
damn.
So when I had to quit that job, it was very devastating. Lost a lot of friends,
Yep,
lost
yep.
a lot of income. I was kind of down and out.
Right.
And my beautiful, awesome fiance or wife, if you will now, went behind my back to cheer me up, and she signed me up for a comedy workshop.
Get the fuck
Oh,
out of here.
shit.
Really?
Behind my back, and was just like, you should do this. You should try this. By the way, it starts in 2 days, and I already paid for it, so you can't quit. You have to
no
do it.
shit.
There you go.
And she goes, and after the 6th class, you have to do a live show in front of a sold-out audience. I was like, I'm not doing the show. I'm not doing it. No way. But then after the first class, I was like, oh, I'm doing that show.
Yeah.
Right? And then skipped to the 6th show. The teacher of the class ended up becoming my best friend, Kevin Fox.
Oh, right.
shit.
Became a mentor of mine. Now we're friends. I don't like to keep calling him my mentor because he holds it over my head like an asshole.
Well,
Right,
yeah,
of
as he should. I
course.
mean, it's been a few years
It's
now,
like,
right?
relax,
Yeah.
Master Splinter.
Totally.
Okay,
Yeah.
I got my black belts.
The student has
great-
become the master.
Yeah. And he's a great dude, and I consider him my best friend, and the rest is history. So, at the end of the day, my wife has given me 2 amazingly beautiful kids, and she's the reason why I'm even pursuing the love, like my passion.
Yeah.
So I kind of owe her everything.
That's wild, man. That's
Yeah.
great. Dude, that's...
Totally, yeah.
Did we just get wholesome after butthole spitting?
This is already all over the place.
Dude, no,
Yeah.
this episode's gonna be
So
fantastic.
let's drink to that. How about that?
Yeah,
Let's drink to
cheers.
that. All right,
Cheers.
cheers.
Right.
Yeah.
To our blueberry White Claws.
Yes.
Cheers. All right, we have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess.
Oh, yeah.
So were you a fan of stand-up before that? Or were you just, like, did you kind of, just come into it as a funny guy thinking, but did you ever have any idea of joke structure or writing or anything like that?
That's a good question. So in high school, I knew that I loved stand-up, but I never knew that it was even possible for me to do it.
100%, me
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
I'm from a
yeah.
small
It wasn't
town
even
like
a
this.
thought. Like,
Totally.
oh,
Yeah.
I should do this. It was like, you can't do this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
it was the life that I came up in. It was like, not that I was like fucking super poor or anything, but we were definitely not rich.
Yeah,
we were
yeah,
like
yeah.
lower middle class.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and did anybody do anything creative? Like, where I'm from, you turn a fucking wrench, right? Nobody's like an actor.
Turn a wrench or
an
play a
anything-
sport, punch
Totally.
someone in the face.
100%.
That
Yeah.
was what was it for
Yeah.
me. So
Yeah.
anything creative like that, it was like, you can't do this. But in high school, I was interested in drama. I was interested in improv.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
So I joined the improv team, mostly because I wanted to bang a few of the chicks on the improv team.
Absolutely.
Which
Absolutely.
I did, so high five.
Yes,
Yeah,
and baby.
That's what everyone gets to into
But
improv for.
it
Yeah.
Deep down, I realized it was because I wanted to do stand-up. Like, I wanted to make
Right.
people laugh.
Totally,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Totally.
yeah.
And improv was, I hate improv now. I just...
Yeah,
As you should.
Yep.
Right, as you should.
Yep.
But at the time, it was my only version of it. And once I left high school and became of age, I did go to the comedy clubs a lot. I went to the Laugh Lines used to be on 4th Ave on the hill, not where in the theater it is now.
Okay, yeah.
I used to take dates there. It was a great date night because you could bring a date there and you didn't have to say a word, but you'd have a great time, and
yeah.
then she would associate you with being hilarious because you took her to the comedy club.
Yes,
There you
yes,
go.
yes, for
yeah,
sure.
Yeah, yeah.
But then I found myself after every show going up to comics and going, hey, how did you get started? What'd you do? What'd you do? What'd you do? And they'd all give me the same advice. They go, you just got to do it.
Yep.
Yeah,
But then I'm like, well,
exactly,
how do
yeah.
I even start a joke? How do I even write a joke? And then I just put it in the back of my head and go, oh, you know what? I'll just leave it as a bucket list thing.
Yeah.
You know, if I get
Yeah.
cancer, like if I'm told I have cancer,
Totally.
then I'll
Yeah.
write a joke and maybe
Yep.
try it
Right,
and see if I
yeah.
can do it. And then the push I needed was my fiance just signing me up and just saying, you got to go do it.
That's awesome.
And the rest is history, man. And
yeah.
now I'm here doing this awesome podcast with you. So it's all paid off.
Oh,
exactly.
absolutely.
Yeah, you made it to the top now.
You're firing at least the top of this building anyway. So.
Almost.
So, and you know what? It's exactly what I needed, man. It was... I'm able to look back now on my life and see how ridiculous I was.
Yeah.
How hilariously insecure my entire existence was growing up as a young man. And, you know, and I'm now just starting to scratch the surface of that stuff now that I'm a father. And I don't want to pass that on to them, right? So I'm trying to work on myself. And it's turned into some pretty good writing lately.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Well, I mean, having like not only the reflection, obviously, that you're going through and it's life changing, but now you have a fucking outlet to to do something like pretty fucking cool. Right?
Yeah, and you know, they say write your truth, yada yada yada. Seems cliche, but like it takes a long time to know what your truth is, man.
Yeah,
totally.
Like, you know
totally.
What I mean? You're
Yeah,
I am writing what I think is funny. Like I think it's funny when I'm in traffic and this person. No. Like, what's your story?
Yeah,
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I can sit here and preach about it. Like I don't even have it figured out yet either myself. I'm just scratching the surface and. You know, they say it takes 10 years to find your voice. You know what I mean? It takes 10 years to write a solid 45.
Yeah.
And I believe it now, man. I after COVID, I don't know about you guys, but when COVID hit and we weren't really doing it, maybe we're doing a few online Zoom shows.
Stuff
like
here
that,
and there,
yeah.
But once it came back, which is still not even fully back, I just look at my jokes before COVID and I go, this is just such hot garbage.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're saying.
You
man.
know, we've all grown so much in this
Totally.
weird, tumultuous time.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is so fucking hack.
Dude, there's a lot of the stuff that I was working on that I think it's just like novice in the sense of you know, like I wanted to go as hard as possible and stuff, and then you're barely scratching the surface, right? So going back and seeing the new stuff and honestly like reworking that old shit has been fucking so much better, right? The stuff that I'm just throwing out. Like there's a lot of stuff that's just not coming. But I mean, really taking the time to sit back and go, oh shit, now it's on. Now the foot's like to the floor here.
Yeah,
I think we're
just taking chances.
Yeah.
Do you find yourself taking more chances now?
Oh, fuck
Oh,
yeah.
definitely.
Oh,
Yeah,
I know
it's
Comedy
definitely
Ball, you
changed.
took a chance by doing a Holocaust joke.
I mean, I do that joke a lot.
Jackie loves that goddamn joke.
Jesus Christ. You just fucking tipped the dam at that one, by the way, and like then 9 more Holocaust jokes came out. One of the judges is Jewish, and he was not enjoying that at all. It was really weird. That was a weird vibe, that brawl.
It was kind of a weird night, yeah. But like I think by the end of it, the audience was like
On board.
Yeah, pretty on board.
Yeah,
but
but
yeah, it was a rough go because Ty and I were like the very first round out of the gates, and
It's
it was
tough.
kind of I mean, I thought it went pretty well, but
Well, you won it, so you.
Yeah,
so
there
I
you
like
go.
I
Yeah.
thought it went pretty well. I mean,
Did a little
like,
better than I did. I'll tell you that. Yeah.
You know, it was a weird vibe for the 8th and final Comedy Brawl before the Champions Month. All the 7 before have been like super electric and other stuff. So we were bound for one. Maybe that was a little bit down.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's fine. It was in the middle of a heat wave too, so I'm not
Totally.
going to the
Yeah,
audience.
yeah.
That's
Totally.
37 degrees is fucking hard to want to do anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Johnny Paul and Byron Bertram, I love you guys to death, but you guys kind of mailed it in as judges, and you're supposed to be the ones who save it if it doesn't go that well. Byron just shows up in shorts and half cut, drinking white wine.
Yeah.
And I love Byron Bertram, but fuck you, Byron.
Take this fucking show seriously, would you? Jesus Christ.
I can say that because I love him.
Well, yeah, but
of
it's the
course,
biggest
of course.
goddamn room in the city, man. Come
Yeah,
on, fucking show up.
It's not their fault. It's just one of those things. But this month, it's a good segue because this month, August 25th, is going to be the biggest Comedy Brawl yet. Champions Month. I ordered a new belt. We got a brand new custom
Oh,
belt.
shit. Hell yeah.
Fucking Comedy Brawl logo. It's going to be, I can't wait to show it to you guys.
Hell yeah.
I'm
Nice.
looking
Yeah,
forward to it.
that's awesome.
I'm getting some t-shirts made. We're going to really blow the roof off. And it's going to be all 8 champions, crown champions, going head to head to figure out who the champion of champions is. And I think that is a legit title. I think that is, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, I know it's a competition show and I don't want to like hype it too much, but the way it's structured is it's just comics doing their best jokes, their best material.
Totally, yeah.
It's an honest thing. Even when you're going up against the competitor, you guys are both laughing at each other's jokes.
Yeah.
It's very supportive competition.
Yeah,
if anything,
yeah,
right?
absolutely.
I mean, in a lot of cases too, we're all buds. I mean, I didn't know Randy, so I went up against like Randy or whatever. Kind of fucked up. Thought I had 3 jokes, and I only had 2 or whatever. Right? That's on. You know, maybe drink less before I understand the format of the fucking show, John.
Yeah.
But
Belt,
yeah, exactly. Right. But so other than that, everybody else there is like a friend of mine. We you know the stuff too, right? So it's cool to see their shit do well or whatever, or for yours to not do well, right? And then try to pick apart like
and
it's an interesting format.
It's a friendly environment, and even because I find like just watching the brawl that I was on, the people that were doing really well, they would throw in like a not necessarily roast jokes, but they would kind of
tag your joke.
Exactly. And then when I went up against Alistair, and he came out with that fucking hilarious joke about, it was basically like I was standing in front of all the judges. He was like, "Oh, this is like the world's saddest porn," or something like that.
Yeah. Strip show. Or something.
Which was
white dudes.
Yeah, and I was just like awkwardly standing in front of them doing my jokes, and it was so funny. But then after the show, he's like, "I'm so like, thank you for being the punchline for that weird like porn joke. Like, I'm sorry."
Is that where we're at now with comedy? Like, you make a really good joke and you got to go apologize.
And I was like, dude, I loved it. Like,
we're losing this thing. This
absolutely.
Yes. Stop with that.
Totally.
Alistair did great. We'll have him back. We love him to death. But that's not even. I don't even mean Alistair. I just mean like anything you say like in the heat of a moment that got a huge laugh.
Exactly.
Do you have to go apologize for that now?
No, I told Ty that he looks like a crackhead, and I did not apologize.
No,
because
of course. Well, I mean, you call him like you see him, Jack.
Look, man, every time I fucking step on that stage, people are like, "You look like you beat your wife and you don't pay your child support." I'm like, "Yeah, you know what? I get it.
100%. Right? Let's get serious.
I did peak in high school. I get it. That's fine. That's fine. I don't take it home with me."
Yeah, I think if you're on stage telling jokes, and especially if it's directed towards a comic and they don't take it as a joke, then it's like, well, what the fuck are you doing here, dude?
Exactly.
Like,
yeah. I think people need to reevaluate what the fuck they're doing it for, because at the end of the day, a joke is a joke, right?
Yeah, man, and I guess this ties into like the album we're going to talk about and like my upbringing and stuff with like I was super jock, super like low income, so like being tough was a currency.
Totally.
Right.
Yep.
And if you weren't tough, then you were the target, right?
Totally.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
So you better have some fucking tough friends. Like I was the jokester and shit like that.
Yeah.
So a lot of times like my mouth got me into a trouble that I was fortunate enough to have some buddies there that could get me out of it.
So it was a weird transition for me coming into comedy where when people chirp you and so like if people chirp me in sports or chirp me on the street or chirp me at school, it was like, okay, we have to fight behind the willow tree at 3 o'clock because I have to save face.
Totally.
In comedy, it is the polar opposite.
Yeah.
You have to show the toughest skin. You have to laugh it off when someone hits you deep, cuts you deep. Makes fun of the fact that your girlfriend cheated on you. And you're like, wow, you gotta laugh it off.
Totally.
You gotta laugh it off, and you gotta either fire back or just laugh and shut the fuck up and hope it moves on to someone else.
Totally. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
And
it's that battle of wits, right?
It's
Like
taught me a
either
lot.
you're quick or you're right. You take the back seat.
Well, and then if you don't take it well, then that just gives people more motivation to go even harder in on you.
Yeah,
so
it's
like
there's the schoolyard politics in that sense too. It's like, oh, look, we got a rise out of him. Let's fucking go.
Yes, but live in person when I'm in the room, it's one thing. But when when these people do it on Facebook and they're liking comment of someone who's just super disrespectful trying to hurt you, and then they get you digs and they're not live in person, that's where I think the shit gets weird.
Yeah, that's
it's
a whole other thing.
It's the new thing
because
though.
like when you're reading it, you can't tell the tone of the person that's saying it. So
Yeah.
you're like, this could be a funny joke, or you could just be
You're just being a cunt.
Exactly.
I think at the end of the day, if you're not gonna say the joke into somebody's face, then fucking don't. And the worst is like the like or whatever, you know.
The like
is like,
like,
totally.
I thought we were cool, Johnny.
Yeah, exactly. Right? What the fuck, man?
This guy won't book me, Johnny.
Seeing the comment and then seeing like 5 people liked it or whatever, you're like, well.
He's like checking on it. He's like,
Oh yeah, right.
fuck me.
The fuck's Jimmy's problem?
Yeah,
man?
man. And you're like, I thought we were cool, bro. You private message people at 2 a.m.
Totally. Oh yeah. I'm trying to get to the bottom of shit.
Yeah.
I'm out. I'm not doing it no more, man.
After a couple of these, we're calling no names.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
So sometimes when I get suspended by Facebook for 30 days, it's actually a blessing in disguise. And I just go on Instagram.
I was gonna say sometimes when you get suspended. How many times have you been kicked off social media?
Have you noticed?
You're sporadic,
Fuck. Because I'm like a 2 joke a day guy.
Yeah,
on Facebook,
totally.
And lately nothing.
Yeah.
I called. Okay, so Shane Clark, one of my best friends in life. I love him to death. He's Italian twice every fucking 3 years. Sorry, he's Italian once every 2 years. When the Euro Cup comes around and the World Cup comes around.
Right,
Otherwise, he doesn't give a shit about Italy unless he's eating pizza.
Well, what is he not going to commercial drive and fucking hanging out everywhere?
No, he's not. No, he's not.
Fucking
I'm fucking
Aaron
calling him right
Cheney
now.
ball.
I love Shane Clark. He's my partner in life, okay?
Yep.
And he doesn't give a fuck about Italy unless they're playing the Euro Cup or the World Cup, okay? So the Euro
Johnny
Cup.
DeVito will take you to Italian days. We'll show you something about Aaron Cheney balls.
He's the most Irish Italian I've ever met in my
Hey
life.
man, I was raised by a dark man, so like he'd look at me and be like, "What the fuck is the matter?" And I'm going, what's the matter with me? When you bang blonde women and my dad bangs blonde women, eventually you're going to get this, right? Like you just
Right.
fucked Sicily right out of the
Right.
gene pool or whatever, right? But I got the cool name, so I'll keep it.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah, yeah.
man. And you're like a weird hybrid mix of Bill Burr and like the last name that you should be fucking cheering for La Liga. So.
I don't, whatever it is, anytime like I get like any kind of comparison, I will take it. But I got to take it with a grain of salt because everybody fucking calls me Seth Rogen at the point where
Seth
I don't
Rogen is
know if it's a
always
dumb laugh or like the deep voice, whatever the fucking case is, but it's getting to the point where I just have to like accept.
Do you have a laugh like?
Apparently, I don't know.
bit.
I'll get into it. Yeah.
That's all right. Just take it in stride.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
cool. I mean, I don't know. It's
Yeah.
better than fucking getting like a John Wayne Gacy rap. You know
Yeah.
what you remind me
Yeah.
of? It's like
Oh,
at least
no.
it's somebody funny, right?
That's a bad one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
totally.
bad.
So the latest one, Shane Clark was bragging about Italy doing well in the Euro, and I just jokingly say he's my friend.
Yeah.
And I go, Italy's a bunch of diving pussies. The Italy soccer team is a bunch
Yeah.
of diving pussies.
Totally.
Instantly, Facebook lets me know that is bullying and
Oh,
suspends me for
no.
30 days, even though Shane laughed at the comment. So they're just taking stuff out of context, which
Yeah.
is fine.
100%.
But then it's 30 days where I can't promote anything. I
Yeah.
can't interact with people.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, man. Like, there is this weird, and I hate myself for it, sense of like, I feel so torn from connection with people in the community, right?
Yeah.
Which is stupid because I'm relying on Facebook, which is a horrible thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But if Facebook really cared, if they really wanted to just do what was right or what you said was wrong, they would just delete it. They
Yeah.
could just delete it.
Yeah. Totally.
But it's the punishment. It's we're suspending you for 30 days,
That's
which is
so
like, wait a
extreme.
minute,
Yeah.
what's your motive
For
here?
saying that
Yeah.
a soccer team fucking
Right.
died, like
Right.
fuck
Yeah.
you. Have you watched 90 minutes of fucking soccer?
Yeah.
That joke is interchangeable for the entire fucking sport.
Yeah.
Right?
So England won it by being diving pussies.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
But my point is yes, so you can fall back on the excuse of, oh, it's just an algorithm. We don't have enough staff. That's what they say in the thing. We don't have enough staff because of COVID. Well, why? So you just don't have
Yeah.
people working from home or anything?
What the
Yeah,
fuck
that
are you
makes no
talking about?
sense.
So now
about it.
they're going, well, it's not our fault. It's just the algorithms. But what you're doing is you're now becoming the gatekeepers of what's allowed to be said. And that's
Exactly,
a very
yeah.
scary thing.
Yeah.
And especially when you get it wrong so many times.
Constantly, fucking
Yeah.
constantly. Like, I mean, how often do you actually see legitimate hate speech in like
Yes.
your friend group on Facebook?
Well, now hate speech
It's-
has been changed. The definition of hate speech has been changed.
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
can say, I don't like you.
Oh, for
That's
fuck's
not
sake.
hate speech.
Yeah,
Right? It's
yeah.
not. Hate speech is like, hey, we should go kill Johnny because he's a redhead.
Totally.
Yeah, exactly.
100%.
That's hate speech.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just the beer. Just the beer.
Not like, hey, but like you could say, like, I hate white men, they suck, and we should just fucking not let them do comedy.
Yeah.
That's not hate speech.
Yeah.
That seems to be the general consensus of the scene right now.
Facebook's like, no. We
That's why I'm
allow
doing
that.
food reviews.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we're over here with the music podcast. We're finding lanes, man. We're finding lanes.
But I guess we should talk about music at some point.
Yeah,
We totally
yeah,
can,
let's
man.
talk-
Yeah,
let's-
absolutely.
Yeah, let's talk
So
about the
yeah, you're
album
bringing
you brought
in the sophomore album of a not a very well known artist. This fellow named Marshall Mathers, Eminem,
Perhaps
if you will.
you've heard.
Perhaps.
Yeah,
Yes, definitely.
perhaps.
And the lesser known Marshall Mathers LP, which may or may not have been one of the biggest albums of my childhood.
Yes.
I'm very excited.
And it's
Yeah.
funny because like you are 6 years younger than me,
Yeah.
and I'm glad that you say it was one of the biggest albums of your life because when I suggested this be the one that we talk about for me and like what's influenced my life early on, I guess it was a hybrid between the Slim Shady LP and the Marshall Mathers. Like
For
'cause
sure.
when I was
Yeah.
listening
Yep.
to today, I guess I did get them mixed up. But for me personally, like when me and my friends listened to it, we weren't, I wouldn't say marginalized is not the word, is we were lower middle class growing up at New West Secondary High School, very, very ghetto school,
Yeah.
very low income school at the time. Now it's amazing. It's like one of the most high tech schools. It looks like an iPhone
No
store.
shit.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
the walls are fucking glass windows and shit.
Jesus
Right.
Christ.
Most like because they just put $1 billion in, literally $1 billion
No
into the
shit.
school or something.
Oh, wow.
But when I was growing up, like instead of Axe body spray, everyone seemed to be wearing bear spray. Like you were just like, do you know what I mean? Like
I'm
am
from
like,
a similar school.
Go
yeah,
ahead,
absolutely.
mace me. I dare you. I will fucking walk through it like
Buddy,
a
I've
Russian,
seen,
Yeah.
dude.
like
Watch
a
my
Russian
cousin-
street fighter.
My cousin didn't know how to get rid of a house party one time. He calls his mom and they're out like, fucking on the town and shit like that. She goes, well, I don't know. There's bear spray in my fucking in the thing. And she meant like threaten them with it. So he comes out, and that shit is like a fucking orange stream that hits the wall. And
Yeah.
like,
Oh yeah.
my God.
On your skin.
Yeah,
Forget
mace is
about
fuck
it.
all.
Oh,
Like a bear
yeah.
spray. Yeah, like a hot
Yeah.
shot of bear spray. That'll get you.
So like I've seen multiple fights at my school where someone was gonna fight and then like they were like, I'll just pull out my bear spray or my mace, and then they pull it out and they don't realize that it quite often is just a spray. It's like a mist,
Yep.
not a fucking spray.
Yeah.
Totally.
So they pulled it out and sprayed it running forward. And then ended up just bear spray. I've seen it multiple times.
Oh my God.
Yeah, man. And I just laugh and I laugh.
I mean, oh yeah, totally. Like I mean, if you want to talk like a tactical approach, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
That's not the fucking way to do it. That's
And
run
growing,
into it,
growing
yeah.
in my school, like literally, like being willing to fight was a currency. Like you gained respect from, and I'm not. Again, like I'm just trying to give you perspective of like how I came into comedy
For sure, yeah.
and how this album relates to me because this album was like this. It was this white boy, this little white boy rapping tough about his life, his horrible life, his horrible upbringing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
That you were like, Jesus Christ, like he made me feel better
Right,
about
yeah.
my upbringing.
Yeah,
totally,
yeah,
totally.
yeah.
Not that I was like he grew up in like Detroit in a ghetto, but like New West wasn't like exactly. I mean, is there really like a ghetto in Canada? I guess there's a few, but for me personally, I always felt very insecure about our social status or economic
Absolutely.
status.
Yeah,
We
definitely.
didn't have any money, man. We didn't have any money, and the one that like, you ever watch like Scared Straight? Those kids in Scared Straight.
Yeah.
For
I
some reason,
I've been in the like a member or just in. I know the youth justice system very seriously. I was arrested for the first time when I was 13 and then kept breaching probations and stuff like that. So I was actually in a courtroom one Thursday every month from the time I was 13 till I was 17 because shout out to my lawyer, Rob Brown. If you're in the Kootenays and you're a defense attorney, that's the guy. But the way that they basically do it is that your lawyer will just keep pushing back sentencing. And then the idea is that, well, if you've been, 6
They'll just let
months,
you go eventually.
everything, exactly, right? But I kept fucking up. And it started to go down. Yeah, there was a point where, there was like community service hours that everyone wasn't completed would be like a day in jail and I had to sign the whole thing and whatever, right? But it was like, I was fucking up fast, right? So that Scared Straight program, I don't know, it might have helped me or I might have been like, I was that kid that would have been like, fuck you, man. I know you're not allowed to hit me. This is Maury.
well,
yeah.
for me, I wasn't even going to tell this story, but now I'm going to tell it.
Get into
because
it,
you fucking
man.
Brought up. But like for me personally, like the Scared Straight. So like I would watch that show with my fiance, and she would be like, "Why do these kids have to be so tough? Like they're idiot. Like they're going to a prison with like murderers. These murderers are screaming in their faces, and they're still fronting. Like, yeah, I'm not scared. Yeah, I'm not scared.
Yeah.
Because when they grew up, it was all they had.
Totally.
When you are broke and you have nothing, and other kids have stuff, and you have nothing, you're insecure. You feel like a piece of shit every day going to school. You feel like a piece of shit. You're overcompensating. The only thing you have power over or control over is how tough you are, how willing you are to throw down if anyone ever messes with you.
Absolutely.
And so every day I go to school and I'm like, yeah, they don't have this, they don't have this, but guess what? If they ever fuck with me, I will fucking throw down right now.
Yep.
I will die on my shield.
Totally.
And it's not good. It's
Nope.
not smart.
No,
Yeah.
But
I don't
that's what
recommend
you
it to any of
grow
the
up
kids,
doing.
but absolutely,
Yeah.
like it's so goddamn similar, and not only like you for yourself, but also like it was a group of friends, right? Because me and my group of friends, we all had fucking kind of the same circumstances and shit like that. Like single parent households, not a lot of cash. My mom's working 12 hours a day, so she's not really kind of latchkey kids or whatever, right? Where she's just trying to
Latchkey for life, dude.
Totally, dude.
Kindergarten, I was a latchkey.
Hell yeah, man.
How times have changed.
My brother
yeah.
was like my main probably caregiver, you know what I mean, until I told him to go fuck himself and I started walking the streets alone or whatever. But
Yeah.
that was just the way we came up or
Yeah,
whatever,
man.
right?
So when I heard Eminem for the first time, I was in grade 8 on the bus going to a basketball game, and I was like, "Who is this guy?" And I was like, "I relate to this." I realized like he knows he's not the toughest dude in his school. He knows that he's nobody,
Yeah.
but he's like, "Yeah, you know what? I'm not. But if you fuck with me, I'll fight you till I'm dead."
Totally.
Like I used to have this thing. I'm like, I may not be the toughest dude but you don't want to mess with me. I'm not worth the effort.
Totally.
Because I'll take an eye.
I will
or
bite
an
your
ear.
shit off.
Right.
I'll
Yeah,
bite your
yeah.
nose off if I have
Totally.
to.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's all I got. So like,
And I'm not gonna be a punk today.
when I
like,
listen
fuck
to
you.
Eminem and this album, I'm like now when you listen to it, you're like, it didn't age well, right? As far as like political correctness and stuff.
There's a
Pretty
lot
fucking
of
wild.
lot of hard F's and shit. But there is still that kid in there. Like one day I decided to strike back and flatten every tire on the bike rack and all that
Yeah,
stuff. So there is
yeah,
like some
yeah.
childish whimsy there and stuff like that. But by the time you get to Kim on this
I was
record,
gonna
you're
say
gonna.
Kim is pretty.
When he talks about his mom and stuff, and
Yeah.
he's just like, you're like, wow, man, like, yeah, the one thing I grew up with love. I'll never say my parents never loved me or I didn't grow up with this, but they were separated and they were this, and we were low income housing, like government assisted housing and stuff like that. So that was what I clung to, and sports and being tough was the things I clung to. So I was literally the definition of a meathead.
Right.
Yeah.
And for years, and
just the perfect album came at the perfect time too, because this probably just did
Yes.
nothing but solidify
Yes,
all
but
the
just
blues.
pure insecurity, man. It was just
Yeah.
pure built insecurity, defense back against the wall. And then when I was introduced to comedy, I realized that that's all bullshit. Like you can't hide behind that anymore.
Totally.
Man.
Yeah.
You
What are you
actually
gonna
need-
do? Go fucking fight a guy in a 7-Eleven parking lot? You're fucking 30 years old. You better have something funny to say.
Yes. So now, like with doing comedy, it was like where I would normally like get my back up in a conflict. Now I would figure out how to get out of it with jokes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, look, I'm going to make you look so bad and feel so stupid, you're not going to want to fight me. Because this guy's like, instead of like, oh my God, he's got a really good right hook, he's like, oh my God, I'm looking so stupid
Honestly,
right now.
there's
He's
something
hurting
more.
me.
There's something more
Yeah.
demoralizing. Like you could take a punch and hey, shit happens. You can walk that off. There's something more demoralizing about being in a room and getting fucking roasted and having everybody else in that room acknowledge the fact that you just like.
But when
you'll remember that shit.
when you go at a comic and they don't even flinch, they're like, "Pardon me." And there's this crowd work. You guys will learn this too. Is crowd work's like a trust fall.
Yeah.
You ever like
Yeah.
done a trust fall?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there's that hot half second.
Yeah.
Where you feel like they haven't caught you yet, but you're gonna die.
Yeah.
Right. That's
Yeah.
what crowd work feels
No
like.
Totally.
shit.
Especially if someone's
yeah.
heckling you harshly.
Yeah.
So you have to trust. You just have to trust that it's gonna get there.
Totally.
So
Yeah.
even if it doesn't at first, the best thing you do is just keep asking them questions. They
Yeah.
will hang themselves.
Yeah.
So yeah, you didn't get it on the first one. You maybe not get it on the second one. Now you're feeling the heat.
Yo, yeah.
Yeah.
Just keep asking them. It's
Yeah.
coming,
Yeah.
okay? Because
Yeah.
they're idiots. They want it to be about them, and just all kind of for me. Maybe not anyone else in their life. Maybe they have a different experience. But for me, it really relates to my upbringing and how I was doing it wrong for so long, and now I don't need to be that anymore.
Yeah.
I'm really working on myself, and I've been doing fucking anger management.
Get out of here.
Hey.
No shit.
That's awesome.
How much of a fucking lunatic are you? Like, are you
I
sitting
know.
there? Like, are you bending spoons at the breakfast table, just like trying to?
In traffic.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like one day I'm in traffic and it's just my daughter in the back seat, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then some dude cuts me off. I got to slam on my brakes. I just hammer on the horn and my daughter's in the back. She goes, "Grow a dick." What? I'm like, that's me, right?
Yeah, totally.
She probably heard me say that.
Dude, so she's picking up on that. Is that why you're making a
Yes.
change?
Yes.
Oh,
So
how
I'm like,
old is your daughter?
2.5. Okay. 2 and 8 months, something like that. And I'm like, babe, I like call my wife, like, we gotta go, I gotta go. Right? It's covered. It's covered under my benefits. I'm a Teamster.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
So then you go and you go to this group like therapy, like big circle, and you're surrounded by like
There's just
8
10
other
other guys like
psychopaths.
you that are just-
Psychopaths. And then you hear their stories,
Yeah.
and then I'm just like, I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'm fucking fine.
You ever go to an AA meeting because you think you're going a little
NA.
too hard?
You ever go to NA,
Ooh,
bud?
dude,
If
my
you-
dad's been a member for
Listen,
20 fucking
Listen
years,
to me.
man.
If you just had like a bad weekend of coke, just go to AA. Do not go to
Yeah.
NA.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally, dude.
I went to one, and I'm like, this is not my people.
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna. By the time it gets to you to share, you're like, I'm gonna start making shit up, man.
I need to go do more shit.
I went into my overdraft because
like the comic
and
and
they're
you
like, I drank shoe polish and sucked a man's dick.
Yeah, exactly.
like the comic and you kicks in and you just want to make up something
Yeah.
better than that.
Yeah.
Like these guys are killing out here.
Plus, I started laughing.
I have nothing.
I would uncomfortably laugh at the stories.
Dude, some of you'll never hear better stories in some
Yes.
places, right? Some of those guys, like, and they've told them so many times. Some of these guys are 10-year dudes or whatever, right? Like my pops runs for a room now. Every Tuesday I got to go let the addicts in and all this shit or whatever. But it's his service or whatever they're giving back. Or whatever, right?
Yeah.
When you are in that fucking moment and there's a guy that's been telling that fucking story and he sees like the new people in the room and shit, they're almost doing it in a comedy sense. You know what I mean, right? Some of those guys.
Well, I don't mean to laugh, but I did just out of like I'm already tagging their story,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
And
Yeah.
I'm like laughing like in uncomfortableness, and then
Yeah.
they would look at me and they're like, Justin, you have to stop laughing or you'll have to leave. This isn't a joke. And then I'm in my head, I'm like, well, once I figure out an end to this
This is
story,
story.
Willie,
Yeah.
tell it on
It will
stage.
be a joke.
100%.
So
You guys mind if I record this?
Yeah.
Because, like, I mean, I'm gonna-
but
Taking
I'm
notes.
just trying to not pass it on to my kids because it was passed on to me, and my parents really did have a lot of anger issues, and it's funny because they blame me for my anger when they were the ones who taught it to me. Every single Sunday. Low-income house. My parents were stressed out. Every single Sunday, I woke up to them screaming at a 10 at each other. It's like so much that when I was like 10 years old, I'd wake up and just leave the house to get away from it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But then it taught me, like, well, this is how
That's how
people
you deal
communicate.
with it. Yeah.
So, like, when I was like 11, 12, 13, and I'd have a disagreement with somebody, I'd be at a 12 thinking I was at a 4.
Yeah.
And they were like, why are you such a spaz? I'm like, if you call me a spaz, I will shove your head through the fucking storm drain on the sidewalk. But I'm like, no, I'm at a 4.
Yeah.
But I never realized it, and it took me growing up and be like, oh yeah, not everyone is like this.
No, if you go to base like just about any other home and shit, like you're not gonna
Mm-hmm.
find that, right? Like my pops and my mom were always arguing over the phone because they lived in different things. So I have a weird relationship with my dad because if he ever tried to give me shit, like he still has to be my dad, and like I could just end the conversation like that.
Yeah.
My mom will slap you upside the fucking head so goddamn quick, like she demands attention, right? So like that's that
Did you
thing.
ever date guys like this, Jackie? Like, growing up?
I've had a few
Like, where did you
experiences
grow up?
on the island.
Oh, and you're like hippie McDippy over here, right?
I guess a little bit. I'm from Duncan, so it's like a little bit white
Duncan.
trash.
I have some family in Duncan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nice,
They're pretty
nice.
hippie-ish over there.
Yeah,
totem
yeah,
poles,
yeah.
man.
A lot of totem poles, city
Right.
of totems.
Right.
Yeah, definitely like hippie, but also like Duncan is pretty white trash too.
Is it?
So it's
A lot of drinking and stuff.
Yeah, well, it's
Drunken
called
Duncan,
Drunken Duncan. Yeah.
There you go.
in the
Yeah.
name.
So
yeah.
you saw a lot of conflict and stuff.
Oh yeah.
But you
tons.
seem like such a chill human being.
Yeah, well, my family was pretty chill growing up. My parents, when like I grew up, they were together when I grew up, and so it was pretty like there wasn't a whole lot of conflict in the house.
They
And,
waited till this year to start fighting.
Yeah.
Sorry to bring it up.
You're fine. You're fine.
Yeah.
So saying you want to handle that divorce in like '92, right?
Well,
it's all good.
yeah, they didn't wait till this year to start fighting. They waited till this year to deal with it. But but yeah, I definitely saw a lot of shit just like in the school, like my middle school and shit, like shit going on around me, but it never really, violence was not a part of my house at all. My parents never laid a hand on us or anything.
Right.
Like there was zero tolerance for that.
Right.
And so like I never grew up with that like close to me at all. I definitely like on my mom's side of the family, the men are pretty like hot-headed. Like I definitely have that in my family.
Holy shit, dude! We just
Jonny
launched off
had
some
to fucking
fireworks.
witness it. Yeah.
Just a couple weeks ago, we were in
Yeah.
Ottawa at the lake. They have a beautiful little property and some cabins and shit like that. But this was all built by the grandfathers and stuff like that. So now they've all passed, and now the kids have them, and they don't get along at fucking all, right?
Yeah.
So I'm launching fireworks. Maybe 10 o'clock as soon as the sun goes down, right? We get two boxes of like the 50 shot ones or whatever. We light them off, and this guy comes out from the cottage next door.
One of my
and
cousins.
he goes, "Light another one, motherfucker!" And I
Yeah,
thought he
he
was
was
like,
like-
"Yeah."
He was the
So-
but it was like it was exactly what you're
That
saying,
guy
where it's like
lost
his
it.
reaction. He was at a 12, and the reaction called for like maybe a 4. But he was
Yeah.
out on his balcony yelling at us, "You fucking motherfuckers!"
Dude, he
you
called us
fucking
dickweeds. It was awesome.
Dickweed.
Yeah,
brought it right
What
back.
a
man.
fucking 1994 reference.
I'm bringing
Right?
it back, dude. I
Right?
love it.
Like rad.
And
Oh, dude, I still say rat. Oh, shit. I say rat on this show a lot.
yeah. So there's
Hilarious.
that,
We're
and
gonna make
there's
another one.
Hell
Do you
yeah.
have any
Yeah.
more ice?
I think so, yeah.
might be
All right.
freezing, yeah. And then so it's definitely like in my family, there's a lot of anger there. But in terms
You
of
seem
my
to handle
parents,
it well.
yeah, in terms of my parents, like I didn't grow up really around that at all. So I can. Oh yeah, it's still freezing.
That's
yeah.
okay. I got a
It's
little
all
bit
right,
for you,
yeah.
buddy. So, but my point is, I guess, with like men and women, there's a huge difference. Like, men seem to absorb that personality or that
Yeah.
identity, right?
Yeah.
Because men are supposed to be, I don't know, I don't want to fucking do this whole thing, this
It
whole
is-
identity
it
politics
is
thing.
though.
It's
Yeah.
it might not be the way that it is now, and things are changing for the better. I hope. I mean, obviously, there's some bullshit
It's
that's
changed for the
always
better
going to
and the
happen.
worse at the same time, man.
It is, right? But I think that when I needed that that extra little like bit of confidence or something like that, because I know that I'm going to have to fight on my way home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, right? And if that's the where you come from and what you're used to, then it's really hard to kind of well, like you're saying, when you leave high school and when you leave that kind of community and stuff, and then you have to learn how to adjust to regular people. Like when I'm hanging out with Jackie and we're just telling our childhood stories, she's looking at me like, what the fuck? Like, what were you guys getting into, right?
But at the same time,
Yeah.
No, I hear you, man. And for me personally, it was like when I would tell ex-girlfriends or friends that I just met, they're like, really? That's really what happened? And it's like, yeah, that was actually kind of on the tame.
Yeah.
Dude, a lot of the stories that I tell, I'm like, I'm not going to tell you the bad shit. Like, here's a funny one.
I'm embarrassed.
Yeah.
To even get into it.
Totally.
I think I totally like understand it though, because I see how it happens and like how men particularly are kind of raised that way. So I totally understand it. But when it's like around me and in my life, I just kind of have zero tolerance for it because that's how I was raised. And so I get it and I have like sympathy for it, but I just like I can't be.
But that's a good thing.
That's
a good thing, and that's what brings men back. I think like guys like me back is having good women in your life, and you're like, hey, I get it. I feel for you, but I can't have this. I can't fucking have this.
It takes that moment of for you to realize how embarrassed, you know, like the people around you are for your behavior.
Yeah.
And like if you fly off the handle, like I'm pretty tame, but as soon as I get there, like I can't stop, right? I can't stop, and my fucking brain just keeps going and shit, and I know that I'm being a fucking asshole right now, but I gotta ride this out to the end because I'm fucking boiling inside, and then at the end of it, you can kind of look back at it, you know, and go, oh shit, like this is what I need to address now.
Yeah.
Because like I actually care about these people, and they're gonna fucking run so far away from me because I just yelled at this fucking guy for no goddamn reason.
Well, I
right?
remember for me personally, it was like I was never the dude who would, like I'm a very good drunk. I'm never like over the top, like, oh, Justin's drunk again. I'm Scottish.
Yeah.
My grandpa was a drunk. I can handle my booze.
Yeah.
But for me personally, it was like if anyone even dared to even suggest or even remotely challenge me, I'm like, let's go.
Yep.
Time to prove myself because I'm so fucking insecure.
Totally.
Right? And I got to prove it. Can't fucking ever turn a fight down.
Oh, yeah.
So my friends would be like, wow, you turned a fight down. Like, wow. Like, good for you. Like, finally. And I guess we're just talking about this. We've been talking about this. Like, we're just goons who just, like, aren't even doing comedy or anything. But I guess the point is, Eminem, I think, was a voice for a lot of guys. Was like, oh, it's okay to feel like this.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong and I'm fucking broken and I'm not. It's not right to feel like this, but at least someone else does feel like this, and they're even further on the spectrum.
Totally.
Yeah.
And that's why this shit relates to me. And yeah, if you were to take it word for word, lyric by lyric, you're like, you're a horrible person if you like this. It's like, no. I just can put it in context and I understand, and it relates to me because I grew up in an environment that I felt very, very shitty about myself, and I felt very insecure, and I felt like this was the only way to prove that I wasn't a piece of shit.
Totally.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, man. Well,
Totally.
it draws the same line with comedy, right? Like
Yeah.
when you're sitting in a room, like it's supposed to be a dark fucking room, and you're supposed to hear the wildest shit that you ever, and everybody's laughing together, right? Because you're thinking it, right?
Yeah.
Like and bringing it to the forefront. You know, saying the thing that you're not supposed to say, right?
Yeah.
And that's what makes comedy great, and that's what makes albums like this great.
Yeah.
You know, because of that, right? Because
Even when he talked about his drug use,
Yeah.
right? You're like, wow, that's like really hardcore. And
Yeah.
like, don't get me wrong, I've never been like into as much of it as he talks about, but
Yeah.
I've done my share.
Sure.
Totally,
Partying,
yeah.
right? And you feel like a bag. Like when I look back and I'm like, what a fucking waste of time. What a bag of shit I was.
Totally.
But like, it was never like out of control where I had to go to rehab or fucking
Yeah.
do this stuff. But it did waste a lot of time in my life.
Hell
yeah,
yeah.
of
And
course.
it never contributed. Like there was never a time where I woke up the next morning and I was like, you know what really helped me? Doing an 8-ball of cocaine.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Oh my god,
Dude,
yeah. The
I
next
like
day.
when
It's
when
so
I started taking like writing seriously, when we went to film school, I met Jackie there, and I know what I'm capable of doing with just a laptop and my free time in my brain, and there is nothing more fucking nothing that I want to do less after even a fucking half gram.
Yeah.
Is sit there
Or
and try to
drinking,
like,
just
yeah,
drinking.
exactly,
Yeah,
dude, booze, any
yeah.
of that shit, right?
Yes.
To like,
Yeah.
what am I gonna sit down
Sit
and
and
like?
watch Seinfeld for 4 hours.
100%.
Literally,
What am I
yeah,
gonna
The
come up with my own
Simpsons,
characters
yeah.
and just
Be like,
fucking?
Yeah.
Does
Yeah.
anyone know Jerry wasn't funny?
Yeah, exactly. Dude, Sean McDonald sat here and said, "Fuck Jerry Seinfeld, you could be the second one to
I
do
don't
it."
give a fuck. She figured it out, and I don't know if it just didn't age well or whatever. But like, I'm just like, I don't fucking get it, but I love him, and I
The
bow
show
to
is
the
much
king.
funnier than his stand.
I bow down to the
Totally.
king. Okay, I'm not gonna say like I don't think Amy Schumer's fucking funny even for a goddamn second, but I respect the hustle, and I know that she's found a vein,
Totally.
and I
Yeah.
respect it, and I will bow down and say she is an extremely successful, funny person.
Yep.
I don't find her funny, but other people do. Therefore, she is funny.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, just
nothing
because it's
bugs
not
me.
for you.
Nothing bugs me more than someone who doesn't even know comedy and goes, "They're not funny."
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. They're funny. You just don't get it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Right? Do you have
yeah,
any idea the amount of
exactly,
fucking like even if it's not for me, you have to respect the
Yeah,
hustle.
if
You have
they're,
to
if
respect
they're
the time
selling
put
out
in and-
fucking arenas, then they're
Someone
fucking
finds
funny.
them
What the
Yeah.
fuck do I have to say when
exactly.
I'm struggling to get people in the fucking?
Dude.
You know,
I'd
I'm
say,
struggling to get 2 shows a
people-
night for fuck's sake.
People that are like, oh, fuck Kevin Hart, he's not funny. I'm like, well, he's like kind of the most like popular comedian right now.
Yeah.
So it's like, and he's not like his comedian isn't
What-
his
just,
comedy
like, fucking
isn't
niche,
for
like,
me.
not everybody's going to be like Mark Norman. You know, everybody
Yeah.
has this fucking like their
They're
thing or
putting out
whatever.
an
that
hour
they're
every
into.
year.
Exactly,
Okay? It's
yeah.
hard to do.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
An hour, a really good hour takes 10 years. And so after you have that good hour, they want you to sign you to 5 albums. They want you to put one out every year.
Yeah.
Not many people can do that. Very few people can do it. But let's
Carlin
bring
did
down.
it. Carlin did it. Louis did it. But
Very few.
his even started to
But, yeah,
decline at
very
the end,
few
right?
can.
So like,
Very
who
few.
else
Bill
can?
Burr.
Bill, yeah.
Chris Rock, maybe, and then even then we
Yeah, but then
nitpick.
they fluctuate,
Yeah.
right? Too,
We
because now
nitpick.
Chris Rock only gives us one every like 5 years, and I'm happier for it.
Good.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Joe Rogan had a thing. He said you should do it every 2 max,
Yeah.
every 2 max. But like, let's just take it down 10 levels and say, you ever have that person who's mad at you online or like a friend from your past who goes, I don't even think you're funny. I don't even think you're fucking funny.
Yeah.
The first thing people try to do to me if I'm online, I disagree with you, or like I like to troll a little bit, like outrageous people. If you're far left, far right,
Honestly, dude, I love
Extreme
having you
vaccine.
on the thing because I don't get involved in anything, but I love
But
to
I
see
love
when you
reading
get
it. I
yeah,
love
dude, when you're
reading
in the
it.
ring.
Yeah. I
I
just
like
love
your
the
shit.
drama. yeah. That's why I'll just go on the
Yeah.
forum, just scroll. Just
Oh,
But I'm
yeah.
not
just
even. I'm
read,
not
yeah.
angry. I'm just like
Of
making
course,
fun
yeah,
of your
yeah.
absurd, like over the top opinion.
Yeah,
You should
yeah.
never be too far left, too far right, too far up, too far down.
Yeah.
I like to make fun of you if you've gone the extreme way.
Of
Yeah.
course.
And everyone will go, oh, I looked you up. I see you're a comedian. You're not even funny. You think that hurts my feelings?
Yeah.
Every day I go to shows.
Yeah.
And the meanest people I've ever met. Like,
Yeah.
their friends are like, hey, by the way, remember that joke you did and you shit yourself on stage? Yeah, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah.
It hurts so much. Just laugh. Don't let them see you cry, old man. So you telling me you don't think, oh, you don't think I'm funny? The guy who just fucking made fun of your entire existence?
Exactly.
Yeah, funny? Weird.
Yeah, interesting. Interesting that I fucking attacked you. And
Yeah,
okay, all right,
no,
cool.
yeah, I'm not
Cool.
funny. Yeah.
All you're telling me is I hurt your fucking feelings really bad
Yeah.
because you were absurd and I tried to point out your absurdity.
Absolutely.
So that's fine. I can live with that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just this weird thing and it's this ebb and flow and as comedians, I know you guys feel this like I had an existential crisis last weekend. Like a literal one where I had to call a friend, okay?
No shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And I was like, I don't know. What am I doing? What the fuck am I doing, man? I got
Yeah.
kids now. I got this other shit going on. Am I wasting my fucking time? I'm seeing things happen and COVID just and one thing I guess I just want to reiterate here, or not reiterate, but just say is never, ever, ever see someone that you think you're better than or you could just go toe-to-toe with get something that you think you should have got and be like, why didn't I get that?
Oh,
Don't
shit.
fucking do that.
Totally.
It's
I
a
see
what you're saying.
bad trap.
Yeah.
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 Never
Because
compare yourself to someone
What
else.
you need to do is ask yourself,
We
are
do
you
it like I get mad if she gets booked and I don't. I'm like, fuck, right? I gotta put that down.
You could always ask yourself, are you working harder? Are you working hard enough? Could you be working harder? And if your
Always
honest
be
answer
working
is
harder.
no,
Yeah.
or yes, I could be working harder, then don't ever be upset about that
Totally.
shit.
Totally, yeah.
Because things happen and they're out of your control. And I do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I feel this shit too, and we all fall victim to it, or we fall for it. And it's a mind fuck, man. So when people like, I have a friend who was like, you know, if I had half the talent you had, I would do this, this, and this, and I'd be so motivated. I'm like, you have no idea what you're talking about. You don't know the pitfalls. You don't know the gut punches
Yeah.
that make you sit down and go, you know what, I'm just gonna take today off because I don't even know if I'm making any progress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Totally.
And I don't even know if this is even funny. I don't know, but this is what. I guess becoming a dad and coming out of COVID and stuff, I actually feel like I'm writing my truth a little bit more.
Yeah.
Back to this album, I'm feeling like I'm finding the funny in my upbringing now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Totally.
people would say like, you should write about your upbringing. There's some crazy. I'm like, I would, but I don't know what's funny yet.
Did you find it was dark? Because there's a lot of stuff like I would like right when we were first starting out, I got a lot of you know, a lot of my friends died when I was young. A lot of like, you know, like the crime shit and all that stuff, right? So there's a lot of fucking trauma back there. And I was trying to write jokes about it. And I would come off stage and Alistair that we were talking about earlier, he was hosting a mic and he would be
Yeah.
like, that's a therapy session from Johnny, everybody. I don't know that guy,
Yeah,
but
you shouldn't step on your shit like that.
no,
Like,
totally. But
Yeah.
he was fucking right because if he didn't acknowledge the bomb, everybody would be like, fuck, man, are you okay?
Embrace the fucking bomb, man. I'll tell you this right now.
Totally.
If I could, Brett Martin told me one time, he goes, if I go back in time for the first 2 years of comedy, I would just bomb every fucking set and just get hardened and never let the bomb affect me.
Exactly, yeah.
When I was in my first year, I started out very good for a first year comic, which did not help me.
Yeah.
And then once I started to fucking take chances and bomb, I couldn't handle it very well.
Yeah.
I would
feeling
crumble.
that. I'm feeling that.
I would go introverted. I would have like look downward. I would be very insecure on stage. People could see that I was uncomfortable, and that makes them uncomfortable. So my mentor at the time, Kevin Fox, says, "Listen to me. You're gonna do 4 minutes of silence, and if you don't do this, I'm never gonna help you again." So 4 minutes of silence is, and I recommend you both try this. Okay.
Just burn one of your fucking sets.
So listen, yes.
Oh my
So
God.
you go on stage and you don't say a goddamn word for 4 minutes. Just try this,
Jesus
okay?
Christ, yeah.
Just don't
That
say a word.
Sounds
Okay?
excruciating.
It's excruciating. So Foxy told me in detail, step by step, what was going to happen. He goes, at 45 seconds, people are going to nervously laugh because they're so uncomfortable. At a minute 30, they're going to start to get uncomfortable and get mad at you.
Right.
At 2 minutes, they're going to start to swear at you and say fucking something. And then he just kept going and blah, blah, blah. But he knew that I would be pulled off stage before 4 minutes. And at the 3 minute mark, they were like, get the fuck off stage. I just got pulled off stage.
Yeah.
Where did you do this? What room
I
did
did
you
it
visit?
at Goldie's Pizza.
I've been down
yeah,
there.
yeah.
That's where we
Yeah,
started.
yeah, the basement,
And
yeah.
I went outside. I felt like it was the worst feeling I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
Okay? But it felt worse than any bomb
Was
I've ever
Susie
had
running
in
the
my
room
life.
at that point too?
No, not yet.
Oh,
Not
okay.
yet. And his name Will Fitzgerald or something like that.
Okay.
Fitzpatrick.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I went outside, and I knew I had done something worthwhile because like 8 comedians came outside and went, "I can't believe you did the 4 minutes of silence, unreal, man!" And like I got high fives but then there were like a bunch of people who were like, "What a dumb thing! Why did you do that?" And I'm like, "Oh, you don't get it."
Yeah.
But then after that, bombing never felt that bad.
Right.
Like
That
it was,
is
I was never that
crazy.
afraid to bomb ever again.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
I know
Yeah,
it makes
it
perfect
does.
sense.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I goddamn, because I get really into. I'm doing this stuff. Well, like I said, now like I got a solid set that has been working, but the shit that I do is, it's not for every crowd, right? So on Hastings, I'm over here in crack neighborhood and fucking kill, and then I go try that same shit in Robson right downtown to like a yuppie crowd or whatever, and I walked right into a hard bag of dicks. We go out to Montreal, more or less, kind of like, you know, work on adjust this here and adjust that there or whatever. So like I'm starting to think of is it the material? Is it the room? See, I'm in my fucking head, right? Because I've, you know, like you said, I'm starting, you know, well enough, right? I think like we haven't been here long enough to be getting all the opportunities that we have, and it says something for the work that we're putting in, which is great. But holy shit, man, there's a level of uncomfortable because if I'm only used to these jokes working, and when they fucking don't, I'm like, well, what do I do now?
Yeah, and just
This,
like the
this fucking killed
embarrassment.
not only
Yeah.
last night on the early show or whatever, right? But it's just
Yeah.
like those are the reps that you have to put in, right?
Totally.
4
Those-
minutes of fucking silence sounds fucked up, but
Yeah.
What were you saying about the embarrassment?
Well, just like just like bombing, or when you're like in the middle of a bomb and you say you're like trying so hard to make this room full of people laugh, and it's just silence, and you just like keep going, and it's just it sticks with you so much, and I just like think about it for like days
didn't
afterwards.
sleep
and
that
just
night, yeah.
cringe.
And then we'll-
Yeah. You be doing this?
well,
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
then
I'm
we
like,
flew,
oh
when we
my
took
God,
off, then we you
yeah.
know, went on a little trip and shit like that. So by the time that Akeem got us on at a show in Montreal,
Yeah.
I've been talking to Jackie about this bomb for 5 days. She's like, dude, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
It was also one set out of the 7 you did that week,
Exactly,
right?
right? Yeah,
Exactly,
exactly. But
yeah, yeah.
fuck, does that stick with
That
you?
means
right?
you care, though.
Oh,
But
I care so
Yeah.
much about it. I'm terrified of the thing.
comedians, I've always said this, and I think I'm the first person to say this. So if you ever hear anyone else say this, I want you to say Justin Nichol said this first.
Absolutely.
will
This
do.
is
Yeah,
show me
yeah.
yours exclusive.
Comedians are the most insecure narcissists you've ever met in your life. Okay?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
we care so much about it. We want to talk about our lives. We need your approval.
Yeah.
You're strangers. I don't give
Yeah.
a fuck, but I need you to laugh at this.
Yeah.
I need you to hear where I'm coming from. And it gets more intense the more writing gets real for you.
Totally. Yeah.
So the first 2-3 years, your writing is garbage. I don't care. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
My writing was garbage. Your writing was garbage. Fucking Ivan Decker's writing, he would say, was garbage.
Yeah. Dude, I
Chris
watched
Rock.
him fucking crush a Dark and Dirty show doing a
Dude,
fucking paper
about
towel bit the other
paper
day. That man is
towels,
fucking
yeah.
fantastic.
Dude.
I
So
understand
good.
the work that he puts in.
He has a
Yeah.
bit about debit machines where it says merchant copy that just took the roof off of Match Eatery when I booked
Yeah.
him. And I was like, what a genius.
It
I
was
fucking
like-
love Ivan.
He came out for the Dark and Dirty show. He's like, yeah, Ivan Decker, Vancouver's dirtiest comedian here.
Never sworn in his life.
Yeah, and then did this whole bit about paper towels, and it fucking.
Oh my God.
killed.
Yeah.
Ivan's the greatest guy.
Killed,
He's the
yeah.
nicest dude. He's the most professional dude I've ever met in my life.
Yeah,
If you got a
yeah.
problem with Ivan, I assure you it's you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No shit.
Honest to
Yeah,
God.
yeah.
No
You
shit.
can't say one bad thing about that dude. He's done it
Yeah.
right, and
Yeah.
I just admire the shit. I love working
Yeah.
with him. Going to be working with him this Wednesday at the American. So
Hell yeah.
come
Oh,
check
shit.
out that
Oh,
show.
you
It's gonna
bet,
be
you
really
bet.
good.
Oh, the one that the new one.
Dude, that's a
Quinn's
solid
doing?
lineup.
The
Yeah,
As Seen
fuck
on
yeah.
Solid
TV?
lineup.
Yeah,
It's
it's
gonna
Yeah.
be Kim,
Yeah.
That's fucking
Quasi,
awesome.
Ivan, me,
Yeah.
Sebastian Bordeaux.
Oh, solid.
Oh,
It's gonna be good.
nice.
So
Yeah, I'll
come
be
check
down there
that
for
out.
sure.
Yeah.
But back to your thing, it's just that's just the way it is, man. That's the beautiful up and down of comedy, and I talk about it like I figured it out, which I haven't.
Yeah.
And I kind of almost enjoy that I haven't. But there are some dark days, especially coming out of COVID, and you just got to try to push through it, man.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I feel like now I am starting to figure out what is hilarious about the darkness of my upbringing. My parents love me, but there was some shitty parenting decisions they made. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that we
yeah.
don't make now. Like, you think my kids go to the fucking park by themselves? When I was like 6 years old, I'd be like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm going to the park. And my mom would be like, all right, make sure you're home by 5.
Yeah,
for
the
dinner."
street
And
lights
I'm
was
like,
always the thing.
well,
Yeah.
I can't tell time, but okay. Like,
yeah,
how
yeah.
the fuck am I going to be home by 5 when I don't even know what 5 o'clock means?
Yeah.
Dude, we would get on our
yeah.
bikes and just see how far we could get.
Yes!
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is that?
I cross a main street into a wooded area,
Yeah.
go past another main street, past another wooded area. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
God forbid I not come home. Totally.
Yeah.
I remember I would go and get pizza. Like my parents would order pizza from Granada Pizza. I would go pick it up on my bike, 8 years old. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be coming back with a 2-liter of pop in a fucking plastic bag. Hooked onto my bike,
Fucking up the-
thing.
fucking up
the-
Remember?
Yeah.
Oh,
on
yeah,
your
totally.
fucking,
Yep,
on your fucking, what do you call it? The
Handlebars there?
handlebars, and then I'd hold 2 pizzas in one hand and drive. You know, just in case the pedophile was hungry. Yeah. My mom would insist that I wear these cut-off Daisy Duke jean shorts.
We just got to make him a little hotter
Yeah.
before he goes
Yeah.
out to the street.
Yeah, but fat pedophiles would see right through it. They'd be like, "That's a trap."
Yeah, that's an undercover right there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is a
yeah.
bait kid. This is a bait kid.
No way he's just going
Right?
to come with
No
pepperoni
way.
mushroom.
Blonde-haired,
ass.
blue-eyed piece of shit. You're gonna get me put in jail.
Fucking pizzas.
Have pizza, come get me.
How many adults walked past you at that point and went like, nice try?
Yeah.
Not today, officer.
Yeah, man. I wouldn't fucking dream of doing that to my kids. We go to the park with them, and not only that, like I consider myself on the other end of like I'm still way more protective than my parents were.
Yeah.
My generation was, but I think I'm way lesser than the parents today. Like,
Do you see the helicopter parrots like kind of hovering
oh
too
my
hard on the
God,
park?
Yeah.
dude,
that's
their
too
kids
much.
are on the
It's too
playground and
much,
they're
yeah.
underneath the playground.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Being like, Jimmy, just be careful, And I'm like, what are you doing?
You got to let
Yeah.
him fall.
Right? I do. So
Yeah,
my
right.
daughter, kids get in her way, and I don't do shit. And I've seen my daughter be pushed down by older kids, and I do want to smash that kid in the face, but you don't. That's the key.
Yeah.
Is not
It's
smashing
not.
that kid in the
Look
face.
at the growth that you've got.
It's anger
So
management.
what I do is
I believe you said put your fucking face through the storm drain or
so
something.
when you hear me start to count to 10 from 2, you
Yeah.
know that I'm doing the lessons, right? So I'm like 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Say something you see. Say something you smell. Say something you hear.
Yeah.
And so like there's like a 9-year-old kid on the little kids playground. The 9-year-old should be on the big kids playground, but he's on the little kids playground, right? And he's pushing kids over like he's
Yeah.
fucking doing an NFL fucking tackling drill.
Yeah.
And his dad is watching, and then I will say something very passive aggressively to my wife, and I'll say, if that kid's dad doesn't say something soon, I'm gonna fucking tackle his dad.
It's very passive.
And all of a sudden the dad,
All of a sudden,
hey, stop doing that.
hey kid.
I'm doing stretches. Like
Yeah. Do you ever give him the nod? Like,
Yes.
we were fucking
Yeah.
close there,
Yes.
buddy. You have no idea.
Parenting.
You have no idea how close you were to this ass whooping.
You're doing helicopter parenting. I'm doing bulldozer parenting. But it is a trip, and I'm trying to raise my kids in this world of absolute softness. Like my son is softer than his own shit, and I'm trying to not let him fall into this victim identity shit, right?
How do you
Yeah.
combat that as a guy? Because I mean, you could swing a hammer. You're a fucking man, right? Like at that point, like is it the culture that he's being raised in, and not the man that he's being raised by?
Well, I mean, they're very young, so I don't have to worry about it for a few years. But like,
Yeah.
what I see now is like, I identify as a victim. I'm this, and you need to like remove all obstacles in my life, and anything that I have to endure should not have to be endured. And it's like that's
Jesus,
what makes
yeah.
you a human being.
An
Yeah.
interesting one for sure,
Right,
Yeah,
and
fuck yeah.
so for me personally, I just look and I just shake my head, and I all I can do is like, for instance, my daughter, I just do not want her to grow up thinking that she's lesser, because what we're doing right now is we're trying to empower women and say, yes, you are worthy, and I fucking could not agree with that more. I want my daughter to be an athlete, and I want her to be respected, and I want her sport to be respected, but at the same time, I don't ever want her to be like, well, I'm a woman, and therefore I can't overcome this. And if you do this, then I'm just going to play the I'm a woman victim card. What I want is to put her in martial arts when she's 4 years old. She's going to be in jiu-jitsu.
Bro.
And it's going to be like, yo, you want to fuck with my daughter? She'll triangle choke you. You want to get fresh
Yeah.
with her when
Yeah.
she's grade 9 or grade 10?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Good luck to you.
You want to raise a daughter that can whoop
Yeah.
your ass.
Yes.
Like, she can take
Yeah.
care
No
of herself.
excuses, no nothing, and I'll be there for her every step of the way. My
course.
son, the same thing.
Yeah.
But I feel like the best way for me to combat this new weirdness of like, look, man, when push comes to shove in a serious situation, Facebook is not there to fucking save you.
No,
Right?
yeah. You're not going to get a 30-day ban
We're talking
from
about
real
real
life.
situations,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, Totally.
And
yeah.
I want to equip her with everything that she needs physically, mentally, and just in any aspect. I know that sounds so fucking cliche or stupid, but
I don't, and I think it's really important because
like as a female, do you not agree with that a little bit?
No, 100%. And like my mom, I think was like super like ahead of the curve for that, because she always like raised me being like first of all, like you can do whatever the fuck you want, and like also like would never like stand for it to, if she ever thought that I was like dumbing myself down to like get guys to like me or fit in or whatever, she would not fucking stand for it at all. But at the same time, I also like grew up with 2 brothers, and so I was like, I like pretty tough. Like if shit were to ever like go down, like I could stand up for myself. Yeah, or I have an older and a younger.
Okay, that's good.
But my younger's way bigger than me too.
That's
so
good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so like that, and
Jackie's
that balance.
prepared. Jackie walks around with a fucking keychain on like that will like
I
would
have
puncture
speaking of bear spray, I'm strapped.
Jackie's
yeah.
she stays strapped.
Good.
Yeah.
That's good. Well,
But
my
like,
sorry, go ahead.
but having that, my mom be like so adamant about me being like not like a strong woman, but like that is like what she was raising me to be, and being like, so like you have to like be yourself, you have to like, you're smart, so be smart, don't act dumb, and like don't like soften yourself and like stand up for yourself and all this shit. Like way before that wasn't really a thing, like when I was growing up so much, and that's made like such a difference, because like I don't really like have that anything like that. I feel like I have to hold myself back. If I want to say something, then I'll like fucking say it.
Oh, Jackie,
and
we've
like
seen
I
your
don't.
stand-up. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're fucking-
Yeah,
You're very
yeah.
opinionated, you're very strong. I see that in you, and I see that in your writing. For me, it's as a dad, like I just see everything so sensationalized and divisive. Everything is. Oh, if I don't.
Do you think
agree with
everything is newsworthy? Like I think everything that we're
No.
talking about right now, like our tax dollars are contributing to a corrupt fucking police system and wars that we don't even know that we're fighting, and like all this crazy shit. But the thing that we're most concerned about is whether like Britney's dad makes her sing "Slave for You" before
or
he
who's
gives her
been
the fucking.
vaccinated or not.
What the
Or
fuck?
Yeah.
who's been this or who's been that, and we're just infighting.
Yeah.
Like, hey, who you? Today's top story: someone littered at Stanley Park. It's like that's really the top story, hey?
Is that it?
Yeah.
Is
That's
that
it?
Yep.
Okay, so like we just are infighting, and we're being told the news has changed, and I gotta write a bit about this, but the news has changed from giving us stories to telling us how we're supposed to feel about those stories.
Yeah,
So
Fuck yeah.
they go, this thing happened and it's terrible, and if you don't like this, then you're on the wrong side of history. Like for instance, like just such a stupid anecdotal one is in the Olympics they made the beds out of cardboard. Did you hear about this?
I heard
I
vaguely,
saw,
yeah.
I saw that.
Beds were made out of cardboard. And
Yeah.
like, it's because they don't want the athletes having sex. And
Yeah.
it's like, no, it's because it was cheaper and they can easily have sex on them. And then an athlete was jumping on
Jumping
his
up and
bed.
down,
And he's like,
yeah,
I
yeah.
could fucking do this.
They're like, we made
But
the
they
custom
These
tell
are
us-
the
recyclable,
most
yeah.
fucking
equipped men and women on Earth to fuck anywhere.
Listen.
Like, are you kidding?
And like,
I'm just
not
gonna
only
say
these
this.
I'll
these
get that
vests
shit done
are
on the
both
floor.
for like 80-pound gymnasts and like fucking 250-pound like fucking.
Are you
like,
trying to give me a
weightlifters.
boner right now? Listen to me right now. Listen to me right now. I think that this should be a social thing to ensure the survival of humans and our species. If you are in the Olympics, okay, and you win a medal, you should be obligated. You have to have sex with another medal winner before you leave the Olympics.
Yeah.
I think that is absolutely. I'm
I
not even
think so,
joking
yeah.
right now.
No,
I
yeah,
am.
I'd
Like,
all
you have
for
to be
that,
like, okay,
yeah.
and then it's like sort of like Hunger Games shit. You get like a tag. You're like, you have to have sex with this person. We need your procreation. We need your shit. We need you to move on.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Oh my God,
They're
Hey,
the
you know what?
hottest.
Shout out to the fucking Olympic Committee right now. Needs to be listening to this.
Take notes.
I'm gonna write this
Take
down.
notes. Take notes.
They're the hottest, most athletic, most in shape people ever. Okay? I am just, you are so hot and half black, and you are so fucking palely white, but you together are
my
the
God.
hottest blue-eyed fucking half strawberry blonde human being
Yeah.
who's ripped with a 12-pack and can jump and swim. Okay?
Right? That will go on to change the world for
Yes.
the better.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You want people
Yes.
and again, people that overcome adversity and shit like that. Do you have any fucking idea how hard any of those athletes had to fucking compete? Even the guy from Richmond that just won a bronze in competitive walking or whatever
Yes.
the fuck.
Fast walking.
Bro,
I
it
mean,
was
you mean-
50 fucking kilometers of walking, Jackie. You know that you can't get me up the fucking hill
Oh, I
Yes.
know.
without looking for a fucking
God,
train
they
station
look
or a
so
bus
ridiculous.
The one
when
thing
they
that's
do it,
killing me
though.
though about everything with sports is now it's being so politicized. Everything's a cause. Everything's this. Everything's that. Sports is supposed to be that one thing that is just it's a pure thing.
It's
Yeah.
a
It's,
game. Go.
Stop thinking. Stop fucking having to have a cause. Stop
Yeah.
being like, I have this. Oh, my mental health this. Oh, my mental health that. You know what they called that in the 80s? They said
pussy?
they left the team for personal reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now it's like, nope, you got to tie a cause. You got to have a sound bite. You got to do this. What about the guys who just want to win? What about the women who just want to win? Christy Sinclair, I want to say this right now. I am the biggest sports fan you ever met in your life, any sport. Christy Sinclair is now one of my favorite athletes of all time, maybe top 5, because not once have I ever heard that woman complain about anything. I played baseball with her brother for years.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
And Christy Sinclair has put her heart and soul into that team for 20 years. She lifted an entire country, an entire program, an entire sport. She's the greatest female player of all time, playing in a country that has no business winning a gold medal in any sport.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah,
She wins
absolutely.
it, and she never complained once about anything or said like, I feel this, I feel that. It was about her sport, and I feel like we're missing that now. Sports is being so sensationalized.
Yeah.
Every time, like, if I just want to watch a game, like, if you want to like understand, especially I think the money in women's sports or whatever, like it's a topic that should be discussed or whatever. But at the end of the fucking day, you have a daughter, right?
Yes.
So are you buying her Lakers gear or LA Sparks gear? Right. Like, and it's the money that comes in is the money that goes out. You know what I mean?
So let me
right?
ask you something, Johnny DeVito. Let me ask you something.
What's up?
Do you watch WNBA?
Not a fucking chance.
Okay, Jackie, do you watch WNBA?
No,
I
don't
watch
even
college
NBA.
basketball. I watch NBA.
Okay.
I watch the
Okay.
Big Three.
No.
I watch all that shit.
That's not even my point.
My mom
My
watches
question is,
WNBA.
ask 10 women right now if they watch WNBA, and all 10 of them will say no. So if women won't support women's sports, what are you fucking complaining about? And I'm saying
Exactly.
women's sports deserves to be supported. I
Fuck
watch
yeah,
it. I watch
100%,
it at the
yeah.
national level or the Olympic level or
Yep.
whatever,
Yeah.
like when stuff comes on. But if you want to say like, hey, we should deserve this and deserve this. Well, women need to get behind their own fucking
Well, that's
sport.
the thing.
I'm sorry,
If
man.
the person writing that article is outraged about it, where the fuck are you at the game? Like,
Yeah.
you better have season tickets.
Yeah.
And all of that shit,
Yes.
right? Like the thing is that I just don't want to care. I just want to watch the highlights.
Yes.
Show me the fucking highlights.
Yes.
Done, right? Like,
Yes.
we're talking about sports. I'm a sports fan. I don't want to fucking talk
Right.
about what it took to get
Right.
to the fucking arena that
Right.
night. I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
want to see the fucking
Now,
highlights.
I get it because it's going to be a slow burn, and like what people don't realize is turning a corner on something takes time. So people want immediate change now.
Yeah.
It needs to be
Yeah,
prime
yeah.
time. This prime time. That's not how it works. How it works is they now are showing WNBA games alongside NBA games.
They're
on, like,
shooting game
TSN
too, and
2 and 3.
I watched a bit of it. I'm not gonna
Right.
I'm not gonna lie to you. It's a shooting game if you're a fan of the game. It's solid fundamentals and shit
Yes.
to watch, right?
But my point is now that, like, for instance, I will turn the game on and I will have my daughter sit beside me because we shoot the basketball in the backyard. She's only 2.5, almost 3. But
that's great that you're doing that.
Yeah.
It takes some time. So, for instance, we recorded the women's gold medal shootout, and my daughter MJ, she loves to kick the ball against the fence, and we have a goal, and we celebrate when she kicks the ball. So we sat there while she ate her snack, and we watch Team Canada, the red, we love them, right? And they score, and we go, she's like looking at me, and she's like, yeah, like she thinks. But that's how it starts. It doesn't just happen overnight, man.
No, totally.
And that's what we think. And if you aren't 100% this way, then you're against me, and that's where shit gets divisive, and we're ruining our cause. We need to realize that it takes time, and it doesn't mean that you're not. If I don't agree with you 100%, then I'm against you.
No, it takes a conversation.
Yes.
Right. Let's get down to it.
And
At the end of the
same thing
fucking
with
day,
comedy.
it doesn't have to be combative. It's like, can we just fucking shoot the shit for a second? Because at the end of the day, I might not agree with everything that you say, but you know what? You're mixing really strong drinks and you have a funny guy to talk to, so I'm pretty sure that we could get to a common ground at some point here.
Yeah.
Also, I am not married to any one of my ideas. If you tell me or prove me wrong or just bring up a good point, I'll be like, that's a really good point.
Yeah, no.
Maybe I need to reevaluate
I'm a
this.
rational human being, and I reserve
like
the right
best
to.
trait to have is like willingness to hear other people's opinions. Be
Yes.
like, we can talk it
And
out.
laugh
I'm not
it
gonna.
off.
I'm not gonna
laugh it
just
off.
like stand strong in the first thing that I said
dumb.
because I'm like defensive that I might be wrong.
No, I'm a
You're
rational
right.
human being, and I reserve the right to
yeah.
change my mind whenever the fuck I want.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah.
Also, too, I'm not a walking cause, and destroying you is not my existence. It's not my identity.
Yeah.
So, like anyone who takes pride in destroying someone because they disagreed or they said something that maybe I didn't understand, or maybe I took it out of context. Maybe I didn't take it out of context. Maybe that person misspoke. Right?
Yeah.
Maybe they misspoke.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't need to take pride in being like, oh, you know what I did? I fucking exploited these. I exposed these people, and come see my fucking weekly because it's a safe space and blah, 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 blah. If that's what you're doing, I don't think you're in this for the right reasons, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
And I think when most people get like really angry and want to really defend what they said, if anyone challenges them, it's just because they're like defensive and like embarrassed that they might be wrong. And so they just like double down on it.
I've been ostracized by my family about this exact reason. Literally, no one in my family will talk to me right now. I have a brother who's a piece of shit, a sister who is an adult child, and 2 parents who don't want to talk to me now because I called my sister out for being way too woke, right?
Right.
And I've been the most like legit
Your
kid.
dad won't even side with you?
Oh,
on that?
man.
What the fuck?
They're gonna see this probably, and
It's
I don't
all
care.
good.
It's over. 'Cause this is like broadcast like 100,000 people, right?
Exactly.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
It's
Definitely.
worldwide.
Our 40 YouTube subscribers, that really balloons out
Really,
after.
yeah.
So
It might even get up
It
towards
makes the
to
rounds.
200, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
So being woke is now not only a currency, but it's like an occupation, right?
Yeah.
So like I don't do anything. I don't feel good about myself. I don't really contribute to anything in any way. But as long as I'm woke, then I validate my existence.
I can point out the bad guy over there and look how good of a person I
Even
am
though he's
because
not
I'm
that bad of a guy.
No,
Yeah.
Even
they're
though he's
really
that bad of a
not.
guy, but I'm better.
Yeah.
And you can never be too woke. There's always someone more woke than you, right?
Yeah.
There's got to be a woke Olympics at some point, right?
there's gotta be.
It's like
There's got to
I
be a
guess there
sketch
is,
for that. There must be a sketch about that or something
Well,
into that.
here's
Yeah.
well, that sounds like a Chappelle sketch. For
Yeah,
sure.
somebody
Right?
get this
Yeah.
girl a laptop.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
But like, for instance, like my sister who has accomplished nothing in her life. I don't give a fuck. I'm done. They don't want to talk to me, so I don't give a fuck. I'm just gonna say this. I don't care.
Show me yours exclusive. We're getting real.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck, man. I'm uncovering some hurt here. Okay?
Dude, go hard in the paint,
It's
man.
these summertime
you came to the right
beverages.
place.
Anyways,
We are bumping Pang. This episode is coming out
doesn't
on
even
Monday.
fucking work. Has no job, right? But she's woke as fuck, so she's accomplishing something every day. Okay, so she goes on Instagram and she does these Instagram posts where she's finger wagging at white people every fucking day, finger wagging aggressively, condescendingly, just like, hey, just so you know, you're a fucking terrible human being. Colonization. She like just throws out hot words and doesn't even know. And I would like to sit down with her and go,
As a white
explain
girl?
colonization to me right now.
Yeah, what
Yeah.
But she couldn't because she didn't even graduate fucking high school. Okay? So she's like, I'm just here to educate people. Educate? You're not educated.
Yeah, how could you educate us?
Right?
What fucking right does she have
Thank
to call
you.
out?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Honestly, though, if you go to university, it's almost worse because it's
Yeah.
such like a
woke
little
fucking circle jerk.
Everybody's
Yeah,
smelling their own
exactly.
farts, just going.
Yes.
It's a
The
smuggler.
woke
yeah.
circle jerkers end up becoming the fucking professors later on, and now you're teaching a bullshit class like fucking race fucking equality or fucking gender fucking
Gender studies or whatever.
gender studies that
Well,
is
I
even
think
fucking
that the whole idea is that like you can like sell your book to the class. You were
Well,
saying.
yeah, like all
this
the
is
the
crazy.
Footnotes
props,
and
like
shit.
all of the textbooks that you have to buy for your class are all written by the professors, and it's like a new edition every year.
Yeah.
so
See,
you
you're
can't
from the
buy-
same
yeah.
neighborhood that I'm from. You know a racket when you fucking see
Yes.
one, right? Like
So
you know when
ridiculous,
someone's
yeah.
scamming.
How about
right?
when a company comes into your office and goes, "We're here to teach subconscious racism to all of you," and you're like, "Wait a minute, isn't racism like a conscious decision?"
Yeah.
But not really. And we're going to teach you how racist you are, and you don't even know it.
How can
And it's
you
like,
teach-
If you disagree with
Yeah.
them, then you're racist.
Well, how can you
the
teach
fuck are you talking
subconscious
about?
racism? Well, it's like, well, don't we all like
Exactly.
inherently know it?
Did you
Yeah.
grow up with
Already?
people that
Yeah.
like? I mean, my friends make fun of my mom's house because it smells like white people,
Right.
and I
Yeah.
make fun of their house because it smells like
Exactly.
X or whatever the fuck
But
you're
it's
talking
now
about.
bleeding into comedy.
Like-
right? It's bleeding
Yeah.
into comedy. And
Yeah.
people are like, hey, that was racially insensitive, or that was insensitive to women, or that was... Like, I have a joke about I got broken up with, and I was really hammered one night, and I
Yeah.
just needed a fucking... I'm sure you heard the joke. I've done it.
No, for sure.
Where I was hammered one night, like hammered. And I accidentally signed up for Grindr
Oh, I
because I just wanted to pick me up, a kind
Yeah.
word,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then this piece of shit comic, and I don't want to say his name, but it rhymes with Bliss Mames, and he's just a piece of shit. And he goes, "That's really homophobic." And I go, "Homophobic? How is that joke homophobic when I'm the one pursuing the attention
Exactly.
of gay
Yeah,
men? You
yeah,
idiot!"
It's a fucking. First of all, it's a great bit. And second of all, you would do well on that app. I'll introduce
I
you to
did
the-
very well.
I was
I
gonna
did
say.
very well.
Right? Still got it. Still got it.
And I realized, like, oh, I went a bit too far. I'm just a little bit high on blow and drunk, and maybe I fucking was like, what's his name who flew too close to the sun? Icarus.
Icarus. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Dickarus. I was Dickarus. Dickarus got his dick sucked a little too close to the sun.
Dude, I will
flew
tell you,
too
okay.
close to the taint.
If that's better if you're looking for a little validation because
That's a
yesterday
good tag to that joke.
dude, it's perfect, man. Yesterday morning, I wake up and I got a text from somebody that, or a Facebook friend request from somebody that I don't recognize, no mutual friends, and then like the message in the DMs going, "Hey, you're so and so's younger brother or whatever," and I'm like, "How the fuck do you know my brother?"
Yeah.
And I was like, he was, he's calling this girl last night. I'm just the driver, man. I'm just the driver. I don't want to do anything, but he owes us more money. And I'm like, holy shit, man.
Yeah.
Rich, I think you're being extorted by a pimp or something right now.
Yeah, yeah.
And this went on all fucking day, right? To the point where I was convinced that my brother might have died because he wasn't answering my phone. So we were doing a podcast yesterday, and I'm pacing around going like, fuck, this guy's not answering
I
the
was
phone.
about to fucking cancel on Sophia like 5 minutes before she got here.
It was
because
bad.
Jonny
Yeah,
was
yeah.
so,
But it just got to the
yeah,
point that, you know what I mean? The guy
yeah.
partied and one,
Yeah.
I think he left, like he called and then passed out. And this girl was like waiting outside and she charged him for it and then tried to like extort him for more money because he was using his company phone to call. So, dude, if you're just downloading Grindr for a little self-validation,
Yeah.
bro, like honestly.
No, it's just a kind word. Like,
Just
just
yeah.
like a compliment.
yeah,
like,
yeah.
hey, blue eyes, looking really good. Like, that was all I needed.
Dude,
Oh,
on
okay.
Grindr, it's
Man,
just
yeah.
hard dicks.
Listen to
like, it's
me
like,
right now.
where are you? Let's go now.
Gay guys are unbelievably complimentary to straight dudes. Okay,
Oh,
like
yeah.
the ones they think they can get.
Well, they always want
Yeah.
to turn. They always want to turn a guy,
And I
right?
got all the time in the world for kind words, especially when I'm feeling
Yeah.
really insecure about myself, just got
Yeah.
broken up with, or
Yeah.
whatever. But the point is that the wokeness had overwhelmed the community, and now it's like a joke about race doesn't mean it's racist. A joke about sex doesn't mean it's sexist.
100%.
Yeah, yeah,
And we're
yeah.
in this weird fucking storm where it's
Acting like we don't all think it. That's the reason that comedy
Yeah,
works. Is because
yeah,
it,
exactly.
You,
Saying the
doubt.
shit.
you erupt the fucking
Yeah.
laughter because everybody there was like, "Oh, you're not supposed to laugh at that." Boom, that's what makes it fucking funny. And
Give
if
me
you're
the
gonna
benefit
act
of
like
the doubt.
everybody in the room is not thinking about
Well,
that
and especially
shit.
because I feel like I can say some wild shit on stage, like the whole fucking Holocaust joke, and people give me the benefit of the doubt
Yeah.
because like I'm a
You
I'm
look
a girl.
Jewish. Oh,
and
sorry. Oh,
because
no,
I
you
look
wasn't,
Jewish,
sorry.
yeah, that too.
You look like Anne Frank if she was
Yeah.
hotter and did steroids.
And Frank with titties and a
Have
push
like a massive Jew bush.
Dude, you know that was off the hook by the end
Whatever.
of the
You know
yeah.
what? At this point in my life, I'm like turned on by it.
Yeah, exactly. Honestly, anything that could remind me that I'm not eating out a fucking child would be fantastic. Yes! Put a little hair on there, girls.
Thank you. Am I having sex with a woman? That'd be great. That'd be
cool.
great.
That'd be cool. If she can tell me that I'm no good at anything, you know, if I'm good for nothing, and spit on my face a little bit, put a cigarette out on my neck.
me
Let
I'm a piece of
know.
shit.
Yeah, you know, let me know.
I don't know where this is going.
That's love, baby.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
love.
This is
yeah.
love, baby.
Yeah, dude, welcome to the show.
I told you this shit would get us lit. I told
Oh,
you this
hell
shit would
yeah,
get us lit.
yeah,
Are
yeah,
we
yeah.
up? Are we up with ice? Do you have ice yet?
I mean, I'm sure that we
Are
do.
they? Yeah,
All right.
it's the ice. It's the ice.
Another thing I guess
How
I
are you guys
wanted
doing? We're at about like a fuck. We're going hard on this one.
We
Oh,
can
no,
keep
what time are
going.
we at?
just-
What are we
just-
at?
Well, I want a cigarette. If we could take a piss, maybe fucking we
We
can
can
cut it
take-
and
we
come
You
can-
want
back.
to cut it and come back?
We can, yeah.
I would
Let's
love
take an
to cut it and come
intermission.
back. Yeah, we got
Intermission.
way more.
Intermission. Yeah.
Intermission.
Back with more.
And we're back.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome
Sorry
back
for
after a little
that,
technical
A
difficulties.
little technical difficulties. If you're watching, you can start watching the screen again because we're back.
Yeah, yeah. That,
So hammered, Ubering home.
see, that's the thing about this show is that some people take it serious. Sophia Johnson chose to drink tea, which was interesting.
Oh, yeah,
you
that was
came
our
over on an
first-
afternoon and decided to get White Claw, White Lightning.
White Claw, white girl wasted.
I'm not gonna lie to
Yeah,
you.
we're all
I love the
for it.
drink.
It's
good.
delicious.
I love the drink.
Right?
I'm not mad at you. I'm
It
not mad at
sneaks
you right
up
now.
on you. I like it.
I mean,
Well,
this
little-
tomorrow's episode might be delayed because
Yeah,
of it, but we're
yeah.
fine.
We went a bit heavy, so we should try turn the corner, I think.
Yeah, we're
And,
gonna
I think
lighten
so,
it up.
right?
We're
So if
gonna
we're
lighten
talking
it
about
up.
like, because Josh and like we kind of came up different neighborhoods, obviously, but a similar upbringing, right? There was a lot of machismo. You have to prove, you know, to everybody else and yourself that you're not going down this road, right? And a lot of that stuff. Once you come out and you decide, you know, comedy is the light, right? Everything is. There's a lot of bullshit that's going on, right? But what are the positives here?
Well,
Right,
the
because I
positives-
love doing this. As much shit as we talk about it, I
Yeah.
love doing this.
Yeah.
So for me, there was a moment where I'm like, I'm a square peg in a round hole.
Yeah.
The way things work aren't the way that I've been taught. It's not gonna work. You need to fucking grow the fuck up, man.
Yeah.
There was a point where I'm like, grow the fuck up. Yeah, they're a dick. Yeah, they fucking did you wrong. Yeah, they were a fucking, they were disrespectful. But guess what? No one fucking cares, man. You're gonna have to fucking swallow that shit.
Totally.
So guess what? Be funnier.
Yeah,
I guess,
yeah.
right?
Write a better fucking.
Write a
joke.
better fucking joke. Oh, they
Yeah.
don't want to book you in the room? That's fine. I'll find another room.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The scene has changed where we have a lot of people who think, I'm just going to say this, okay?
Dude,
Yeah, say
you're in the right
Say
place
it.
to say
I'm
it.
going to say it. There's a lot of people who think that producing shows is more important than doing comedy, and that makes them a staple in the community, or that makes them a comedian. If you don't have the desire to do comedy, I think you should stop producing shows, okay? Because you're not doing this industry any good, and you're just undercutting everyone who's trying to fucking make a living doing this. And the way around that is just do you. Be better. Surround yourself with people who want to be funny. I love you guys. I want to be around you. We shoot the shit. We're fucking
yeah.
laughing.
Hell yeah.
We're
Yeah,
just
yeah.
doing stupid stuff. We're being silly, man.
Yeah, yeah.
We miss the backroom stuff. From
Yeah.
someone who has been here for the transition of the weirdness of Vancouver comedy,
Yeah.
I remember the beginning. The back room was the funniest stuff. We just shoot the shit. We would go ruthlessly at each
Yeah.
other, laugh
Fuck
about
yes.
it. You're right. I
Yes.
am fucked up. I have
Yep.
gained 40 pounds. I
Yeah,
am
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
hairy.
Totally.
I do fucking look like a fucking creep or whatever.
Yeah.
And we'd laugh about it. We would do these things but it meant you were in.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
You're in,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah.
If
And
I
then-
get if somebody has the balls to insult you like that you perform with every day, there's a twinkle in the eye when that insult is coming, and you know that that's like it's a term of endearment. you know what
Insult's
I mean?
almost the wrong word.
Well, and
I
that's
feel like.
it's like
Do you know what I
weirdly
mean? It's
that's like it's
busting
like
balls.
Busting balls, dude, because that's what
And
we fucking called it, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, fuck the people that raised me. Like, you have to have tough skin to even eat at the fucking dinner table.
Yeah,
with my
and it's
family.
almost it's like a love language.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna really insult you unless like I actually like care about you and I'm that comfortable around you.
Like,
Then
how
I'm
about
gonna,
this?
Like, go
So
after you.
I
Yeah.
respect Jackie. I think she's funny. I think she's a good chick, person, right?
Yeah.
Chick, person. Right? Broad.
Whatever you want to call it. Hey, this fucking broad, that could change tomorrow, man. Jackie's
This
been
fucking right cunt here. Peter Grant. All of a sudden. Fuck, by the way, shout out to Peter Grant, you piece of shit.
I love
Yeah,
Peter
yeah,
Grant
yeah,
and blame Peter Grant
You
for
fucked up this podcast, Peter. Yeah.
again. Fuck.
By the way, I had an existential crisis last week, and literally, just where am I at? Like on my patio, just like man on the pier, like looking out to the ocean, the never-ending ocean.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Peter Grant called me up, and he goes, "You know what, man? I just want to call you to say, like, I have the ability to call you someone I respect, who I think is funny, and I just want you to know I think you're fucking funny, man." And that at that moment, meant a fucking lot, man.
Yeah,
so if
yeah.
you think that about somebody, fucking do that, okay?
reach out.
Totally.
He really
Yeah.
he doesn't even know the timing of what he did, and like no homo here or anything, but like I
Yeah.
love Peter.
I love that man too.
And,
He did
uh,
something similar to me. He phoned me out of the blue, and I didn't even want to pick up the phone. You know when somebody calls you and you're like, "Fuck, we're not on a show tonight. What the
Yeah.
fuck are you calling me for?"
Yeah.
But I answered the thing, and he told me like he was thinking back to a conversation that we had or whatever, and he went out of his way to tell me that like he's like, honestly, nobody makes me laugh like you do.
Yeah, man.
That's the coolest fucking.
And
thing you can do.
just shout out to that guy. It meant a lot to me. Quinn Beasley too did the same thing, and right when you needed it. And we need more of that stuff. I
Totally.
think we need to start putting the blinders on with some of this stuff, this bullshit. This
Yeah.
hey, you got to take up every cause. Hey, this person wronged me, and even though I won't give you context of the story, but you need to be on my side, or you won't get on my show, or you won't. I'll never do that to anyone. I don't care what room you do. I
Yeah.
don't care anything.
Yeah, totally.
Unless it happens at my room when I see it, I'm not responsible for taking up the cause unless it's something fucking obviously horrendous that is backed up with fact.
Of course.
We're just trying to do our thing, and I want to pump up you guys. I
Wasn't
cede
this
my
about
time.
telling jokes at some
Yes,
point?
at some point it was.
You know.
I don't do
Yeah.
Tuesdays to take it away from my family because I'm like, oh, I want power. I want
Yeah.
people to suck up to me and message me for spots.
No, you give
That's
a
not
shit
what I want.
about comedy.
I give a shit
Yeah.
about comedy. I want you guys to get better. I'm taking time away from my daughter. I don't put my daughter to bed at 8:30. That's the greatest time of my life. The 7 to 8:30 is when my daughter is a goddamn angel. It's the
my
only
God.
time of the
Yeah,
day
yeah.
where she sings. She tells me, she says, "Daddy." She'll be like, "Daddy, Daddy," and she says she begins every sentence and ends every sentence with "Daddy," and I love her to death, and she's the greatest human being that's ever
Adorable.
lived.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And,
And then you got to come and deal with us on
exactly.
a fucking Tuesday
Yeah,
You'd be
night.
like, "Hey, how come I'm not on? I didn't make the lotto." Blah blah blah. And it's like, guy. I even gave up 5 of my 10 minutes so that I could get one extra comic on here.
Yeah.
Okay?
That says a lot.
But it means I'm trying to build, not just me, we're all just trying to build back what was lost.
Yeah.
And it's
Yep.
it's great, and that's where the genuine comedy comes from, where I took a chance and it sucked. I fucking took a chance and talked about how my parents basically were begging me to be abducted, and it didn't work, and it sucked,
Yeah.
but you're laughing because it sucked.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And I come back and I go, wow, that sucked. And you go, dude, it sucked so bad.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
it was hilarious.
Fuck yeah, dude! Because when you come back, like to the back of the room should be that. So it's like, yeah, you
Yes.
fucking ate shit out there. But when you come back, everybody's like, I see what you
And
fucking did out there.
I see what you're trying to do. Maybe next time don't go so hard in the paint with the foreskin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know,
Right?
You can try writing that. You know,
Yes.
I mean, you ballooned that.
Yes.
Maybe let's shrink that.
Yes.
Yeah, all that
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
But that's what we come back for. And you go, well, I did suck, but I took a chance, and everyone who that matters thought it was fucking funny.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That means a lot to me. If I see somebody fucking taking a chance, like honestly, there's a lot of people in town that, you know, that will rely on the material that works. And I'm not gonna, you know, take any money out of anybody's pocket. Go do your fucking thing, right? But there's also people that write too much. Maybe fucking you have something good. Work it,
on it a
refine
bit
it, or
more,
whatever,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
But whatever, there's something to be said about somebody, especially like at our stage of the game, that's going out and constantly trying. There's people that bomb fucking hard that I have more respect for than people that are like, you know, objectively more funny,
Yeah.
right? Because they're taking fucking chances and they're
Yeah.
doing the thing.
Again, there is a happy balance. You
For sure.
you have some people who's like, oh, I'm a genius. I'll try new 5 every single set, and you're like,
Yeah.
wow, that's not the way it works.
Good luck, pal.
Yeah,
Good luck.
exactly.
You wanna
It's not gonna
do-
get any better.
Whatever, but everyone's thing is different. What I'm trying to say is, I guess, is in my drunken stupor now that we're white clawed the fuck up.
Oh, bro, yeah, we're into it
Summer
now. Yeah.
drink.
Is that I think we need to get this community back, and we're so divided. There's like 3 or 4 segments of comics who are like, I do these rooms.
Yeah.
These bookers are like, I book these comics. This booker's like, I cancel people for fucking blinking the wrong way, and I do these rooms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, what in the fuck is happening, man?
Well, it's interesting
Yeah,
with me
yeah.
and Jackie. Like, we have no beef in the scene, and we're relatively new, and we get along with everybody. So reaching out to other people has been kind of interesting, and we know the rooms that we have to go and meet face to face and see what's going on, right? Because at the end of the day, I want to do this shit 7 nights a week.
Yeah.
So to do that, you have to make those relationships. But if everybody's in the same forums and the same posts, right? Not unknowingly to us, our names being on posters frequently might get us, might make us non-eligible for other rooms, which is bullshit, right? Because
It
at
is
the end of the
bullshit.
day, I think it relies on who you are as a person, how you are as a hang. I mean, nobody wants to hang out with a fucking drip, right? But also at the end of the day, how do you do on fucking stage?
I would say
Yeah.
this: stop acknowledging that. So I don't mean to cut you out, Jackie, but
No,
just
no.
and we'll get back to you.
Sure.
Stop acknowledging. If I'm on this poster, doing it for this person, doing it for that person, then this person won't. Whatever. Stop that.
All I'm trying to do is do
If-
stand up every fucking
Look,
day.
man, the
Yeah.
best comics get to do all the rooms, right? So
Yeah,
at the
Bro,
end of
I
the
know
day-
them and they're buds,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And like
yeah.
when you get to that level, you have the ability to drop in, which
Yeah.
is fucking fantastic, right?
Yeah.
I had a 10-minute, spot or whatever that I'm gonna close out this like amateur show or whatever, and it was like it's cool for somebody to recognize, hey, you're working out here. We're gonna give you a chance to do longer set or whatever that you have to. Somebody drops in. One of my favorite fucking comedians in the city. Oh, now we're gonna take 2 minutes off of your time. It's all love, right? There's no fucking big deal, right? But I could see other people going like, how do you feel about that? And I'm like, what do you fucking mean? I'm happy to be here.
But I think also the reason why we've been able to avoid all of the bullshit for the most part is because like we got into it together, and so
Yeah,
we
we have
weren't
us,
just
yeah.
like stewing like alone in like our anger and shit. Like we can like, bitch to each other about all of the shit going on and get it off our chest.
Yeah, you
and
guys
then
don't know
not-
the shit we talk about.
Yeah,
We all do it, though.
But at the same time, it's like I wouldn't like, because I always like grew up. I think I always like loved comedy, and comedy was huge in my house. But I always wanted to do it, and then I went like to film school, and that's like where we met. And I think like the like writing comedy and shit, it was always going towards doing stand up. Like that's what I really wanted to do, but I didn't even want to say I wanted to do it.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have like gotten into it if like we hadn't have met and like we hadn't have gotten
yeah, it's
each
love
other
of
to do
comedy,
it.
and
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that,
yeah.
that the only thing that we care about is comedy. So I don't give a
Yeah.
shit about any of the politics or anything that's going on behind it, because I mean, at the end of the day, we have piles of scripts that nobody will even read, right? So if
Mm-hmm.
you think you're funny and you love to write jokes, and at the end of the day is like, then you get the immediate response of actually going up and doing stand-up, and there's something so goddamn pure about the thing that I love, that when you're up there for your allotted time, like that's all there is in the world. That's all they fucking want to do. And then when I get off, I have to talk about what this guy said to that guy. Fuck that shit.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
know what? Me as a producer of comedy, I've told you this before. Like, I want to be known as a good comedian. I don't want to
Yeah.
be known as a good producer, right?
Hey,
And
yeah.
but as a producer, I try to be as honest as possible. I've seen people mistreated. I've seen comics who this means the world to them, and because of one bad allegiance or in someone's eyes, or one bad joke or one misinterpreted joke or whatever, they get blackballed or blacklisted by someone who craves power over just doing the art form or whatever. And I think it's time for all of us to break this bullshit and stick up for your friend. Like if Peter Grant wasn't getting booked in a room for such a terrible, dumb reason,
Yeah.
maybe it's time to fucking say to that producer, like, hey man, I think you should book Peter.
Yeah.
Like I think what you're doing is kind of bullshit, right?
Yeah.
And then that guy's like, well, no, it's not. Be like, okay, whatever. You know what? I'm just putting
Just
it out
said
there.
it.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
He's a good
Yeah.
bud, and
Yeah.
I think this should stop. I think this is petty. I think this, and what
Because
we're
at the
all
end of the day,
so
you want to
Like-
book a good show, right? That guy could he could do good.
And for
Yeah.
someone to not be booked on a show, like in my eyes, that would have to be such an extreme thing
Yeah.
that they've done.
That'd be
Because
some
like
egregious shit,
fucking
right?
But it's not anymore.
In like the short amount of time that we've been in comedy, like they're comedians are fucking creepy as hell. Like I've experienced tons of shit, but
Every
nothing
time I
like
leave the fucking table, all these fucking guys, it's like
Well,
the
they're not
yeah,
swarms
and
comics,
it's
going-
like
though.
yeah,
They're not comics,
Yeah.
so you're dealing
But-
with people and a production company that is booking people that aren't real comics. So
Yeah.
they got 5 shows a week and they don't fucking have enough
yeah.
comics. 'cause
Well,
they
a
just
couple
book-
of them have been real comics. Yeah.
Okay, all right,
But-
fair enough.
But
Yeah, we'll
but
tell
that
you
being
after. We'll
said,
tell you off mic.
but that
I'd
being
love to hear about
yeah,
it.
yeah, we'll tell you all
We'll get
about
into
it. But that being said, there's nothing anyone has done or said to me where I've been like, where I've been like, oh, I should tell this producer that they shouldn't fucking book him anymore.
Yeah.
Because that is so extreme.
Because we're all
to
just
me.
trying to do this thing,
Yeah,
man. That sucks,
yeah.
and we just feel constant rejection. And
we keep coming back.
And we keep coming back. Why? Because we
I
need to.
fucking
Because we
love
want
this
it.
shit.
Because we love it, and because that is the payoff to endure this shit and then have that one good set on a Saturday. You come home, you feel like you just did 5 caps of E at Summer Love,
Yeah.
and you're fucking on cloud 9. That first
I
line
can't
of
fucking
coke you ever
sleep.
did.
I'm laying there. I'm just like, fuck, that was the best night ever.
Yes.
And on 3 beers.
exactly.
Right.
Yeah,
for me,
yeah, yeah.
that ain't enough.
And
like,
it's
that's
over.
enough for
Yeah,
me.
you're just
But
riding the
it's
high,
over
yeah.
in 4 hours.
Yeah.
Then you have one bad set at an open mic,
Yeah.
and it lingers for 5 days.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, 5
Yep.
months
Yep.
for me.
Jackie, we're going on to Montreal. I don't know if this material is gonna
Right?
fucking work. Oh, dude, get the fuck out of here.
But at the end of
Go
the
and do
day,
your damn
man,
thing. I love
some of the greatest relationships I've ever had in my life have been through comedy with comedians,
100%.
bonds I've made on the road. Look, I thought the best relationships I ever had were the people that I endured high school with. Oh, my high school friends, the people I've known since I was 18. Not fucking true at all. Okay?
Those guys are crackheads and dead now.
Some
My
of the-
high school
yeah.
friends are not even the same
best
people
friends
anymore.
you make don't have anything to do with how long you've known them. Okay, like
Yeah.
some of the best people I know, I'd met 2 years ago. I met fucking 3 years ago, and now they're my best friends.
Yeah.
They're the people I bring to introduce my family, my kids,
Jackie,
and stuff.
Peter Grant, fucking James is coming in the. You know
Peter
what I mean? All
Grant,
these
man,
people.
fucking
I'm
good
telling you,
dude.
like, yeah, again, like we shit on that guy relentlessly on this podcast,
Yeah.
but I
But it's
cannot
because we
speak
love
of
Fuck
how.
it, I'm
Yeah,
having
I
a
cannot-
fucking comics
Yeah.
barbecue, and you guys are coming.
Fuck
Peter
yeah.
Grant's
Dude,
coming. We're
yeah.
barbecuing
Yeah.
at my
Yeah.
house. We're gonna
Just
play
dude,
Because
bocce.
that's what the community
Yeah.
needs. Like,
Yeah,
just
man.
party. What the
Yeah.
fuck are we doing?
No,
Oh,
and I'm
here
gonna
to-
send like public invites and then publicly not invite people on purpose
yeah,
and just be
yeah,
part of the
yeah.
problem. And just be part of the problem.
Like, honestly, you know what? That's where we're going. Like,
I'm
jump
not
in the
gonna do
river.
that.
Yeah,
No,
yeah, yeah.
of course not.
But
man.
it is like that being.
If you need some help on the grill, holler at your boy.
I will. Yeah, I will.
On
need-
that note, like it is like the friendships you make as comedians is through like mutual respect for what
Yeah,
you do. So
man.
it means so much. And just like the other week, I like had a set that went well, and Quasi, who I'd never met
Really
or
good
talked
dude.
to before,
Funny
and
as
he
hell,
like
yeah.
took the time to like he added me on Facebook, then messaged me being like, "Hey, like I just want you to know that was like pretty fucking good set that you did. We had never fucking talked before," and like I'm like. Fuck yeah, that's the best fucking dude
For a
ever.
young kid, that's the
Never
coolest
fucking talked to
goddamn
him in
thing
person.
ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
And
When
it
you
just
walk
like
off,
that,
yeah.
just like that means so much and goes so far.
Totally.
Just people going out of their way to be like cool and like acknowledge.
You
like,
can see the
work
difference,
you're
right? You can
putting
see
in.
the
Yeah.
difference.
The
The people that are
genuine of
awesome,
it.
that are
Yeah.
fucking.
But
that are-
like
that are
also
awesome.
too, and a guy Sterling Scott from Calgary, one of the best comedians in Canada. I don't know why he's not famous yet. It's
Really? Shout out to
like
Sterling
Byron. Shout out to Sterling Scott. Shout out to Byron Bertram. Don't know why he's not famous yet. He's famous locally, but should be more famous. Sterling Scott said, "We need to stop telling comics who did bad." That they actually did better than they did. Stop it, okay?
Yeah.
Look, if you see potential in a comic and they just had a bad set, that's one thing.
Yeah.
But if you see a comic who's doing bad consistently, stop telling them,
Good
hey,
set.
Yeah.
good set, good fucking this, because
Yeah.
they're just taking up time.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So there is a happy medium here,
Yeah,
right?
and I
What,
can't
what would you say?
fucking
Like
stand that.
at our level, what would I say? What would I say to the to the kid that like, what the fuck are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I would say scrap that whole bit about this,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
I would say just scrap it. Like maybe, I don't know if you're coming across the right way, but like you got good energy
Yeah.
and stuff like that, but I just don't think you're coming across really well the whole way you just described the pedophile.
Well, we got
being the
taught
bad-
to give
you're
we,
the
we,
good
we
guy.
got taught to give bad news in film school as a shit sandwich. So you give a little bit of good at the top
Yes.
and then a
And
big
then the
fucking
shit-
punk,
yeah,
and
yeah.
then a
Yeah.
little bit of good at the end, right? Hey,
But
But
And
also,
then,
it's
like-
not your fucking responsibility
Yeah,
to give
you don't- you
feedback
don't
to
have to
everybody
make
every
them feel-
time.
I'm worried
And I
about my shit.
cannot-
I write and
So you know what I do
I'm
now?
constantly worried
When
about
someone
my
has a bad set and I'm like, that was bad, and I didn't like any of your material, you know what
Just
I do?
don't say
I just give him a
anything.
fist bump and I don't say a fucking
Yeah,
word.
and I
Just get
can't
the-
fucking stand it, like because like
I don't know.
as-
You've acknowledged it when you're hosting those shows. Like you've acknowledged some bad sets.
Well, I brutally, Peter Grant has
If
said
you're-
that I go a little too hard
if
in the
you're
paint.
well, no, if you're,
you
if
inspired
you're
him. He
hosting,
goes fucking
yeah.
hard in the paint. You just hosted a show, and I'm watching him, and he's just shitting, like not necessarily shitting on, but he's ripping into every fucking comic before and after their
I think
goddamn
if you're,
set.
I think if you're hosting, it's different because then you're like relating to the audience,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like funny if you acknowledge it. But like, yeah, if I have a bad set and I come off and people are like, "Good set," I'm like, "Go fuck yourself."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I know that wasn't
yeah,
good,
yeah,
and
yeah.
so I'm like, "What is this?"
I want
What-
to sit
why
at
are
a
you
different table
doing
if that's the
this?
thing, right?
Yeah,
I want
yeah,
somebody like
yeah.
I'll look at Jackie and I'll
Yeah.
be like, "Didn't go well," and she's
Yeah.
not gonna look at me. She'll be like,
Yeah.
You know what I
It's so
mean?
funny because you guys are like, honestly, like almost only a full year in, like, just wait till like you know your ability's gotten better, and then you just fucked it up because you just had a bad start and you couldn't get him back.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? Or like you just did this one thing and you're like,
Yeah.
fuck, I just wasted my whole night. I've been waiting. So like there's so many more mind fucks coming for you guys,
Oh,
and
fuck,
like they
I
just
can't
get more
wait.
intense and more intense
Yeah,
and more
yeah,
intense.
yeah.
I'm
I'm
excited.
ready for
Like
it,
I
yeah.
look at you guys, I'm just excited for like.
Who,
you know what I
who
mean?
said that? Somebody told us that we have a new car.
Dylan Reimer was like, "You guys have that new car smell."
Yes.
yeah.
Listen to me. When a new comic for the
Yeah,
first time, I
yeah.
want to smell them like I'm Joe Biden. I feel their nervous energy. I want that back.
Yeah.
I want the nervous
yeah,
energy
yeah.
back. You know what I
Totally,
mean?
totally.
And I kind of have had it back with COVID. I watched myself on film the other day, and I was like, wow, I'm tight. But I'm able to watch and be like, instead of being like, wow, I just suck, I'm like, okay, I'll just recognize it next time.
Yeah,
I'm
work
Yeah,
on.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
But
exactly,
again,
yeah.
man, you're talking to a guy who had a fucking meltdown last weekend and almost quit comedy. So it's all relative, man, and we're all in the same fucking boat. As I've been doing it for 8 years, you've been doing it for 1 year. We're all in the same fucking boat, man. And
Yeah.
it's just about being honest and stop attacking each other to benefit yourself. You think that burying one person and stepping on them to get over is going to benefit you? It's not.
Well, remember everybody that you pass on the way up because they're all going to see you on the way down. That's just
man,
Yeah,
and just
exactly.
like we need to get this community back and this divisiveness. I've never seen a community so divided, and you guys recognize it. You know who books who books the other person, who doesn't fuck with this person, who doesn't fuck with that person.
Yeah.
If you do this room, you can't do that room. I'd love to fucking end that as soon as possible.
Should we get
Yeah, it
everybody
should
in an
just be about
open field
comedy.
and air all grievances?
No, like in an
Airing
Anchorman
of
2 where they all just
grievances,
fought
yeah.
to the death, right?
Yeah.
You're going to want to be on my
type shit?
team.
Yeah,
I'm just going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Just to be honest with you, you pick your side.
I mean,
Hey, no,
I see who I'm up against out there. I know who I'm backing in the fist fight.
Just joking. Just joking. I love you guys, man, and I'm glad you let me do this tonight. I feel like I'm running long and just rambling.
No,
but,
no, of
Dude,
course.
this has been
Thank
so
you so much
good.
for
Like,
coming
we've
on.
had so
This
much
is
fun.
coming
Honestly,
on.
we
Yeah,
cap it
yeah.
at an hour, but we're just having fun right now.
Yeah, man.
This is fucking
And
awesome.
we
Yeah.
talked about a lot of stuff. I feel like maybe a bit too much negative, but it needed to be addressed a little bit.
And I think
so, yeah.
everyone watching knows a lot more about Marshall Mathers LP.
fuck yeah, man.
100%.
Don't fuck with me. My mom fucking hated me, but I'll fuck you up. Right? Yeah, and I'm from New West. You can take the boy out of New West, but you can't take the New West out of the boy.
Cheers. That they said you can't rap about coke no more. Fuck.
Yeah.
Say can't rap no hoe no more. Bitch won't choke no whore.
So the vocal cords don't work in the throat no more. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, hi-yo.
This
We're
is
out
so
of here.
fucking awesome.
Thank you so much. It was a lot of fun, guys.
Thank you, buddy.